maybe in the chat.
Like 8 years, bro.
8 years, dude. You're like 27 already. 26?
Mm.
There you go.
All right. And then make sure we share your screen so we can see it.
We need stream. Appreciate.
All right.
Alrighty, we're back. We're back. Sorry for the small intermission. You know, this weather just being really difficult on everybody right now.
Oh yeah, you know that winter storm. Even when it's 70 degrees in Orlando, Florida, you know it might still hit you. You know when you least expect it. So yeah, for those tuning in, I believe we had that goal from Hecky go in, like I had said. Good play from him. And so now we're starting 3-1. Avengers on the back foot coming into the, middle part of this game.
No way. Oh
wow,
my
what
God.
What a shot from Voodoo. Very close. Yeah, very dominant performance from Black Bulls so far. Kind of silent from Avengers. I feel like they've been hitting the ball away and allowing Black Bulls to take control. As I say that, a little team bump there. Gives the ball back to Avengers. Zeus is taking it in the corner. Finnick with a great shot on net.
Great shot.
Gonna get it past. I think that was Pia. Pia last in net there. Got it past him far post. And they're bringing it back. They're back in this game.
Oh yeah, and Black Bulls, having to keep on this lead. Very important that they keep the lead. You don't want to throw a 2-goal lead in any match. It makes it so much more difficult with the other team having momentum, with your team losing momentum. But Avengers just looking to come back from this. A great goal to make that happen. Voodoo now trying to get onto the offense. Finnick able to clear it out to the side. Zeus trying to get up there, and Hecky getting the beat. Dropping right in front of the net. Kraken not able to make a touch. Pia not able to beat Finnick, and it's going right over Hecky there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, wise from Hecky there to leave that ball. He was awkward, and I know good pass, almost with the save. But I know that a lot of us can get awkward and we're like, all right, well, let's just backflip or let me just try to touch the ball because, it's near me. When in reality, there are numerous times where leaving the ball is the better option, right? So good discipline there to see an awkward ball and say, you know what, my teammate can still be the first there. I'm going to leave it for him. So, yeah, I mean, you said it, Carr. There is a lot of momentum. I mean, in terms of Rocket League as a esport, as a game, it's very short compared to the other, major esports like League of Legends, Counter-Strike, right? Those games go at least an hour just for one game, right? Rocket League, you have 5 minutes, maybe an OT, but momentum matters a lot. It swings, and if you don't get it back, you might lose the game, and then all of a sudden a series might be gone from you. But here we go in the final minute here, final 30 seconds. Black Bulls hoping to stay alive. Good 50. Voodoo with a great pinch, able to actually get back to it. Hecky looking for a skim. Back step here. Let's Voodoo take the ball. See, again, good discipline from Hecky not to jump at it and make it awkward. Voodoo, good read, able to take the ball off the wall. Dangerous spot for Avengers here. They need to get it out of their half so they can set up a counterattack. Hecky with the shot on. Finnick, good save. Pia's going to be the first to the ball. Gonna take it to the wall, look for himself again. Kraken with the clear. Zeus tries to get a double, runs out of boost there. Hecky, ball drops. Much better second game from Black Bulls. I think also a much quieter game from Kraken, right? I mean, if you're gonna live by Kraken, die by Kraken seems to be the Avengers motto. And as you can see there, I said that without even knowing the stats. Kraken over there with 186 points, only one save. Other than that, one of my favorite things to say is he was playing Trackmania. He was just driving in circles, really not doing a whole lot. No demos, not much time on ball. And if you have a star player like Kraken, you really expect him to get more points than that.
Absolutely. I mean, and at the very end of the game, I mean, was Black Bulls not letting the ball leave that orange half, playing it very well to ensure that, there's no chance for the Avengers to come back. Finnick, though, having a very good game. I think he dropped 650 points,
Mm-hmm.
2 goals, 5 saves, looking absolutely great. I think the big question now with a game like that is, can Finnick keep that going? And if Kraken comes back into the game, are they going to be able to turn this, more into their favor? We're looking at 1-1 now going into game 3. This is anybody's game. Both teams playing absolutely great. It's just which team can come out on top now.
Yeah, Black Bulls did a great job of stabilizing this series. I mean, especially you said it in a best of 5. If you go down 2 games, I mean, we saw one reverse sweep, last week, but as a whole, I mean that's a very tall order for any team. So they're able to stabilize, able to set it 1-1. I want to see if Kraken can bounce back, but then I also want to see, if Hecky and Voodoo can continue, to display. Really looking at Hecky, had a great solo play that resulted in a goal there for goal 3, I believe it was, to put them up by 2. Can he continue to do that, right? Take control. He's showing great patience. And if he's able to continue doing that, then I think this bodes well for Black Bulls.
Absolutely. It'll be a really interesting game 3. I feel like there's no momentum going in a certain way. Both teams looking extremely even. Might even want to call it another game 1. Super excited to watch it.
And I just want to call this out again, Zeus. I think he's doing this to prank me. He is another blue car, even though he's on the orange side team. I really find that rude, trying to cast this game, and he decides to pick any single colored decal that he can find that doesn't match his team. So shout out Zeus there. Here we go with Black Bulls have possession off this kickoff. I like this reset from Voodoo, looking for the double. Close. This Black Bulls team, they're showing mechanics. They're showing possession of the ball. They're keeping it in Avengers half. Finnick with a good 50. He's going to be able to get this boost. Very dangerous spot. Good shot on. Double whiff. Sometimes not hitting the ball works out in your favor. But I think the Avengers want that back. I think that was Zeus there that really wishes he could have sunk that one in the net. He clears it to the side. Voodoo with a pre-flip shot, top left. Is that C tier? It really. He had the flip reset double, and then now he's over here pre-flipping it top left. We saw Road to Bronze play. Really peak on them last week. It seems they took some inspiration from that, and they're like, hey. You said that Road to Bronze should be B tier. Well, here's my case for being B tier. So really great stuff from Voodoo. Great shots. So we'll see if Avengers can bounce back. But a goal like that can be demoralizing, even more than just, it's only one goal, but a goal scored like that really hurts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I just want to mention Black Bull's third man just looking so well, no matter who it is. They're always far. Hecky looking for the musty, really showing his mechanical prowess. Another thing I really like about this Black Bulls team, though, is that there's not just one player shining. This is 100% of a team effort, and this ball just rolling in. Zeus able to get back to it. Yeah, Black Bulls, a huge team effort. I love the way that they're playing this game out, not having to rely on one player specifically to, go crazy or pop off, but all these players just playing very solid together as a team. And I think that makes a huge difference, just playing a threes game in general.
Yeah, I agree. You really see it even at the highest levels of Rocket League. It gets a lot harder for, in 3v3, to have one player kind of take on the mantle of the hard carry. There's just so many moving parts, and you don't have the time on the ball that you normally do in like 1s or 2s to actually be able to say, hey, put the ball, give me the ball, and I'll win the game, right? So I do think that the teams that work together and play together are going to win. And it's interesting that we say that because, the Black Bulls, they had talked about, this past week when I was talking to them, they're all vibes, right? They're huge focus on team and how they play well together and have fun together. And it's showing here, right? So we'll see if Avengers, one-man army can come out again and win another game, but it's a worrying sign.
Yeah, 100%. Um, no, I do think this Black Bulls team. After speaking to Hecky and whatnot, just during the crash cast, Hecky is super big on just loving his teammates. He's got Voodoo, him and Voodoo, a duo outside of the league. Able to get on the same team is really huge for them. And then it looks like Pia just fitting in so well. Moving on with this, um, cracking Lincoln with a sidewall, not quite able to.
Yeah, I mean,
We're gonna
it's
drop it
interesting.
down.
It's interesting that you say that about Voodoo and Hecky being a duo, because we saw last week on stream the duo of Geo and Trickter really was able to come out and showcase their skill. So good shot on. I think that was Finnick there, unable to make the save the Black Bulls, but it's interesting that we're seeing kind of the resurgence of these duos and how much they're able to win, which I think is an even bigger testament to their third man, right? Are they able to slot in? Good shot. Looks like some team play. Zeus and Finnick taking the same ball, putting it in the backside of the net. No Black Bull defender. Looks like they rotated a little too far. They weren't sitting far post, like I know how we talk about being far post. It seems like he cheated up a little too far. We'll see if if Ascended has some words there whenever they go through that replay, later this week. So now they're down, minute left. Can they stabilize? Can we see another OT? They lost the first one, so I want to see if they're able to, one, get to OT, and then maybe even win this OT. And we see that direct result right here. As we go to OT in this game 3, this is a must win for both teams. I really do feel like who wins this OT wins the series.
Yeah, 100%. I know we talk about the pressure of being the team down from the team down going towards an OT game. Avengers having up 2-1 and then getting scored on. The pressure to not get scored on though to cause an OT, that can also be something that messes a team up really bad. And I think that's exactly what happened and why we have this OT. But Black Bull's looking great going into it. Can Avengers keep on
again?
To
Now,
that they've had?
I am very curious on how Kraken is feeling mentally this game, because that looked like an open net that if he had just put anywhere in the middle of the field, they score there, but he ended up hitting that to the corner and allowing this pressure from Black Bulls to increase. So I'm really interested to see what's going on in Kraken's mind. I want to see maybe he got nervous, right? He had that performance last week, and now this week he might be struggling. So I am interested to see that going forward. Now, that 50 is a strong 50. I mean, if I'm Black Bulls, I'm feeling real good. This pressure is mounting. The boost is dwindling for Avengers. Double commit on the backboard. Free ball for Voodoo. Phoenix able to put it to the corner. Voodoo's going to keep it in. This is going in the mid. Zeus leaves it for Kraken. That might have been a calm. I don't know if I really agree with that. Zeus needs to really put himself on the field. He had more boost there. He needs to establish himself, right? Not just leave it for Kraken. Voodoo with speed, beating Finnick. Kraken with the save, but he puts it right at Pia. Double commit again off the backboard. I mean, these double commits on defense are really going to hurt this Avengers team. They have no boost. Can Finnick take time? He does. He gets around 2. Hecky makes a good save as third man. Ball's rolling. Pia and Finnick with a 50. Can Voodoo get this read? No. That ball's going to be off. Saved by Pia. Around 2. Finnick with no boost. Kraken committing. That net is open, and Hecky scores it. I mean, great shot from Hecky. Really, that read is not that easy. But, Carr, it's what I said. The double commits, from Avengers, it cost him the game, right? I mean, I don't know if Kraken is feeling the pressure of being this, hard carry, right? I mean, you see he's on the top of the leaderboard there on both teams, right? But it results in this double commit and this I'm trying to do way more than what I have to, and there it cost him.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think Black Bull's just having an immense amount of pressure in that overtime, just, shot after shot after shot. And, Avengers doing great to keep that ball out of the net, but it just wasn't enough to be able to form a counterattack off of that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see there the Avengers had 9 saves, right? And if you're having to have 9 saves and the other team only has 2, then it's a big struggle, right? And you're really gonna need to put more pressure on a team, right? Take more control. These double commits on defense, right? When you only have 2 big boosts to work with, right, and only I think like 5-6 pads, right? If you're pathing in the middle there, if you are double committing and you're wasting boost when you don't need to be, you're a recipe for disaster. You're really going to start struggling. You're going to allow that team to rotate in, take more shots on net, and then you keep saving it. It's going to keep getting more awkward until eventually there's a goal that's scored. So, we saw that there. Great game from Black Bulls. Lots of pressure, and we'll see, here in game 4. I really do think that Black Bulls will win here as well because that OT is devastating. So we'll see if the Avengers are able to bring it back, in this game 4, or if we're going to see the end of the series.
absolutely. And I have to completely agree. Being stuck on defense is never a great feeling to have, and them just not being able to get the ball out and them even going for the ball at the same time really makes it a struggle bus, to form anything to happen, and eventually it just falls in. But game 4, already 30 seconds in. Hecky looking for a mid, and Kraken's able to clear it. Voodoo staying disciplined here, not going to challenge Finnick on this touch, but instead taking the air. Voodoo looking very menacing mechanically so far this series. Every time it seems he gets on the ball, he's able to find a way to do something that you wouldn't expect him to be able to do. Definitely a player to watch out for on this Avengers team.
Yeah, and there's another shot from Finnick that goes wide. I mean, it seems like they really need to hit some shooting training packs, right? If I'm Zorny and I'm coaching them here, I'm putting them in shooting training packs going into next week. Another misread on the backboard. That ball goes straight in. I think a 450. These goals are going to happen, right? There's going to be a 50 that goes in your net. There's going to be you misread a ball, especially in C tier. But if you're not able to shoot the open nets or shoot the chances that you do have, you're going to lose way more games than you win. And I think that's a big testament to what's happening here for the Avengers. Finnick has had multiple times where he can shoot on net and at least make Black Bulls save it, and they're not having to do that. It's not even threatening the goalkeeper. So I really want to see some better shots on. I don't know if they can get back to this. Hecky's going to be able to flip that to the side. Ball bounces out. I mean, good read, right? I mean, they're able to double up on defense, put it to the corner. Now he has all this time. Fakes the musty, gets a good 50. Pia's going to come in, decides to wait. Voodoo gets the boost, bumps Kraken out. Now we're in a 1v1. Can Kraken score? He does. This is what you need to see from Kraken. Great play, dribble 1v1. Little overcommit in the corner for that boost. And we need to see more from Kraken.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Black Bull's getting a little bit too comfortable this game. We're seeing a lot more confidence from them. But, overconfidence definitely a punishing factor when it comes to this game. Too much confidence, too much commitment, and you're going to end up overcommitting. It gives the other team an amazing opportunity to score the ball. And it seems like Kraken able to take advantage of that as he was able to beat Hecky and Pia, Voodoo and Pia, leaving Hecky back to be able to get that goal. Black Bulls, I think, needing to stay a little bit more disciplined here, or Avengers will really capitalize on it. But able to keep good pressure. Avengers kind of stuck in their half right now. And I think that's something that Black Bulls been doing. Just a phenomenal thing that they've been doing this entire series, just being able to keep the pressure.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job. I mean, I think that a part of it has been the Avengers really, outside of Kraken occasionally, they're not taking many control touches. You see them, they're flipping into a lot of balls, and if you watch like high level like RLCS, or even if you watch A tier and S tier in Grindhouse, you'll notice that a lot of players are not flipping into balls, right? Because what you don't want to do is give these players possession and the ability to hit the ball back at you, because eventually, right, if they take a good control touch, there's a high chance it ends up in your net. So I really want to see even here from Zeus. He's flipping it at Pia. Pia beats, Kraken, leaves Finnick alone as third man. So I really want to see less of this flipping into balls and just throwing it at the opponent. You want to be able to close in the double try from Zeus, but you want to be able to take this possession and really work it upfield.
100%. That's even something I've talked to with my C tier about is let's just do a single jump, right? Let's get this ball close to us, keep possession of it, and make a play moving onwards from there. And I think that's going to be a huge thing in C tier that these players will have to focus on is, bang ball isn't always the way to go. It gets very difficult, especially with aerials in C tier not being as consistent as they need to be as far as touches or even whiffs. And I think Black Bull's just doing a great job at that, and Avengers more so throwing it away often.
And something that I want to mention about bang ball, right? And, that there is a time and a place where if you're awkward or if there's a ball, that's dangerous and threatening, you can bang it. But if we start playing tennis, right, instead of playing Rocket League, it takes boost. I think 10 seconds for the big boost to respawn. I think 4 seconds for the small pads to respawn. I might be off. Good shot from Pia there. But it takes boost time to respawn, right? And so if you're banging it back and forth like that, that boost won't spawn in time, and all of a sudden the ball's coming at you over your head, and you have 12 boosts and have to make an awkward save. And that's way harder than if you were to have 80 because you took control and let your teammate get both those boosts, right? So I do want to see, there's even more reason for these control touches, and Black Bulls is playing that control game way better than Avengers, and I think that you're seeing that here in the score. But last 10 seconds, we'll see if Avengers are able to equalize and force the third OT of this series, or if the game is going to end here 3-1. Ball threatening. Zeus has a chance. Good save from Hecky. Ball's going to drop. And we have Black Bulls winning 3-1. I mean, great game from them. Very well played from them. We see the Avengers fall. Kraken wasn't able to perform, the 1v3 miracles, that he did in game one. And Black Bulls playing very well as a team, playing very well together, results in that 3-1 victory.
Kraken doing his best this game and last game to show up and just unable to. Take the win for the Avengers side here. Black was doing great. But on the side, we do have Pia here for a quick interview. Pia, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you, lads?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I mean, doing better watching y'all play and show Avengers, how it is. I mean, I won't lie to you. I talked to some Avengers players, this past week, and they had said that they weren't worried for this matchup, right? That the scrim results that pointed to them being the better team, that they were expecting Kraken to just really come in and take over. How did it feel for y'all winning that 3-1?
Well, honestly, I think we also went into it low stress. Like as you mentioned, like Hecky and Voodoo, being a really, really strong duo together. They've just been so good at encouraging me and pushing my play forward in the past 2 weeks. So even though our scrims with Avengers weren't the best, I don't think that mattered to us going into game day. Like we just, we just tightened up as a team and did our best.
Yeah, and now I heard one thing, and I was talking to Hecky this past week. I just wanted to clarify on stream. So last week, I know y'all had a doubleheader, right? You get to play on stream last week, and now you're on stream this week. Is it true that last week during y'all's games, I think it was Voodoo did a kickflip with a fingerboard or whatever it is called, and then reset the vibes that way?
That sounds right up his alley. Yep, that for sure. He's the kind of guy that resets vibes on, whenever it's needed. Mm-hmm. For sure.
How important are the vibes, you think, for y'all as a team, right? Because it's not that y'all are doing the most practice and the most coaching and replay reviews. How important are those vibes?
They are super important. I'm easily the weakest player on the team, and that's fine. And because they don't care, and they make it clear that they don't care. They like in a good way. They just push me to get better and better, and we've been playing enough to synergize together as cleanly as possible. So like it's all about that good energy. None of us come into it negative.
All right. Well, again, I think that's all the time we have for Pia. Thank you so much. Congratulations for y'all's win in week 2, and way to go 1-1.
Thank you kindly. Have a good one.
All right, and I think now we're going to have a little break before we get into our second match, which will be live, and it will be Umbrella Academy versus IJLSA. So looking forward to that. Please wait around, and we'll see you in a bit.
Hey chat, this is Darty here. Just letting you know, we apparently had a miscommunication between IJLSA, where they thought they were supposed to push the match back to 3 p.m., but that actually didn't get confirmed with either the other team or me. So we're just looking to see if we can sub anybody up last minute, but we're currently doing this. I just said that I just got information that they did get confirmation, but if nobody told me, then I mean, I don't know. We could just swap this around, probably. I don't know. Hold on. We'll have to figure something out. We'll be back with you guys an update in a bit.
All right, welcome back to the stream. Sorry for the little bit of delay. We had to get a little scheduling thing figured out. Good news, everything's working. So we're gonna have Umbrella Academy versus IJLSA. The B tier match is gonna play as scheduled, so they're gonna play right now, and then we'll go A and S tier after that. So, with that being said, let's kind of dive into some things about this team. So, as far as Demon Slayer is concerned, I talked to him this week, and they felt like they were the better team in week 1. Unfortunately, they did come up with a loss, but they feel like they just couldn't finish the goals, right? So we saw that in the last game in C tier, where it looked like Avengers probably could have won a couple of those games had their shooting been better. Demon Slayer feels that if their shooting was better, they most definitely would have won that series. So they played Avatar in the preseason tournament, but lost because Days lagged out. So this is really a revenge game for them. They feel like, they are the better team. They had a poor showing last week. They're going to really show it up this week.
Parker, you're on the wrong. You're on the wrong. That's A tier. That's A tier.
Oh, that is A tier. My bad. That's a flash forward. Sorry about that. Yeah. So sorry. Go back to B tier. Enzo and Cypher. That's right. So they felt like, again, that won't change. Both teams lost week 1. So they feel like it wasn't their best performance. So they're ready to bounce back and show what they can do on stream. They said that the scrims have been going really well, and they've been getting coached from Bass. And I love Bass. I think Bass is a fantastic player, very good threes player. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Umbrella Academy can do. And then IGLSA side, similar to C tier, where you saw Black Bull say they're focusing on the vibes and mentality. Cypher has said that that's also what they're focusing on, is the mentality, not really looking at performance in scrims. They also feel like last week Omni had his wisdom teeth pulled right before the game, so he was under the influence, so he wasn't playing to his potential. So they're ready to show this week what they really can do. I've heard insider information, one of the things I want to look out for. It seems like Omni is a quick chatter, so we're gonna see if that gets to Umbrella Academy, if they're gonna block it and be able to play their game, or if those mental games are gonna result in some chaos on the Umbrella Academy side.
Absolutely, and last week Umbrella Academy losing to Onbu with a 3-0 sweep, really difficult for them. It seems like BD and Sage just not really showing up as much as they needed to. And on the other side, IJLSA, the SpongeBob team going against Avengers, losing 3-1. Funnily enough, outscoring as far as points per game and still losing. Very interesting, but super excited to watch this matchup with Umbrella Academy versus IJLSA. Well, let's get right into it. Game 1, super important. Best of 5. We mentioned this last series. Every game really counts. You don't have that much time to get back into a series. Starting off strong, super important, especially as far as momentum goes, as far as having a lead in the series. Really interesting to see which team's able to come out on top and show us, give a good first impression.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this Umbrella Academy team. Like I said, I know Bass. I play with him a lot. And if he's been coaching, I'm expecting a lot of passing plays, pressure, moving fast and hitting the ball to either open space or your teammates. I also, like I have mentioned before, I want to see these bumps in these demos. We already see one from IGLSA. So I want to see, which team is more physical, which team is fighting each other more, hitting that open space. And that team, I think, will be the one that comes out on top today.
100%. And, this IJLSA team, I think Cypher definitely a player to watch out for. Fishy's hyped him up ever since he drafted him. So projected to go 3rd round, ends up getting picked up in the 1st round of 2nd round. Big either ball knower pick from Fishy. Or
great
Enzo, though.
Great demo from Umbrella Academy. Like I said, I know my boy Bass. I know what he's going to be doing. Good demo from BD. Taking away a defender. Aladdin trying to go for the squishy save. Couldn't time it correctly. That's a goal from Umbrella Academy. Very well done from them. Good pressure. We'll see if IGLSA can hit the equalizer here. A lot of game left.
Oh, yeah, and a great first play coming from BD. I talked to my Onbu team after they played their series, and they said BD...
Seems like we might have
a great start to this game, though.
Seems like we have some internet issues. Not sure if that's me or Carr, but coming in here, we're gonna see Sage with a 50 there, trying to keep this in. Enzo also keeping it in. Aladdin hitting it out to his teammate. I like that pass. I would expect a little bit quicker of a jump there. I think that was from Scythe. So we're gonna see here. Omni does well, getting it around. I actually played a tier 1 scrim with Omni yesterday night, so we ended up winning that one 3-0. So if he plays there, it seems like he's playing well recently. So it seems like the wisdom teeth aren't really affecting him anymore. He's playing well, and I want to see these clears, able to maybe even take some solo plays and try to hit it around a couple. Aladdin runs out of boost there. BD able to win the 50. Looks like a demo on the other side. I don't know if that was a demo or if Omni was waiting for that corner boost. I kind of want to see this on the replay. It was a demo, yeah. A demo on off-ball results in Umbrella Academy scoring that 2nd goal. I'm going to sound like a broken record. The team that demos the most, team that makes it a 2v3, right, they're going to win that game. So Umbrella Academy, 2 demos, 2 goals. You know, Enzo's going to take this to the ceiling, look for another play. Good 50. Omni's there waiting for him on the backboard. Good backboard defense. You got to keep a hand up, especially as we get these higher tiers. If you're on your backboard, you're in for a rough time. Great passing play from IJLSA. Good save on the goal line. 0 boost across all of them. Enzo finally manages boost. Omni looking for that double, like I mentioned. Able to get a boost steal. Important boost steal. Looking for a pass back. Good 50 from Scythe. Going in. Sage is there. Aladdin with a fake. BD's reading that. He's not getting fooled by that fake. That was weak. Enzo, great 50. Able to get the double on it, too. Hitting it to Sage. I like that pass from Sage. It seems like they weren't on the same page, though. Umbrella Academy waiting a little too far behind. I mean, good pressure from Umbrella Academy, but it seems like no one's really getting that final blow here.
And I think one big difference from B tier and C tier is we're seeing a lot more pass and plays from both sides of the field here. A lot more teams using their teammates as building blocks to get those goals forward. As you see, one off corner, Sage jumping for it. A great pass coming from Enzo there. BD setting it mid. Omni able to get it out before Enzo's able to get to the shot. Sage now hitting it out of Cypher. Not quite the best touch. Sage deciding to turn off and leave for BD. BD with a big misread though. Aladdin on the 1v2 and Enzo's able to get the save from the back side of the net.
Yeah, I would have liked to see maybe some time being taken from Aladdin there. He had time for 2v1, could have maybe even gone for a bump. Went for the flick early. Enzo said that's easy. Enzo again there with another save. Really, you know, making it worth his while. Aladdin far post shot behind Enzo. You can see there's just no boost on the side of Umbrella Academy. Great pressure. That looked like Aladdin with the boost steal into turning around with that shot far post. BD Enzo, no boost on backboard. Just can't save it. So good pressure from IJLSA. Umbrella Academy needs to fight for that boost a little bit more often. If you're just giving away the boost, you're going to be in for a rough time here, especially when you have teams that can actually shoot the ball and place it well.
Yeah, 100%. I will say though, Umbrella Academy doing great on the defensive side, just not letting the ball go in until that last goal. Even on low boost, still making those low boost saves. IJLSA though, keeping the pressure high, not letting Umbrella Academy do whatever, but Omni with an unfortunate backflip, not quite able to finish it. BD also an unfortunate backflip. A lot of backflip in here. Dolphins at
Sage, good cut.
Wow,
own goal. I don't know if Omni could have gotten back to that or not. Or that wasn't even Omni. That was, sorry, it was Aladdin. I don't know if he could have gotten back to that otherwise. But it seemed like there was just a miscommunication there on IJLSA's side of who's going to take that ball. And then BD said, you know what, I can just take it, and not a big deal. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think Umbrella Academy, not as much pressure as IJLSA, but they're doing more with the ball to put it in the back of the net. IJLSA, a lot of pressure, but what does that pressure mean if you're not able to make plays off of it, right? I think Umbrella Academy is just able to capitalize a little bit more on the opportunities they're given.
Another shot. I mean, yeah, this Umbrella Academy team, you know, I mentioned it, you know, at the very beginning of the stream today. If you're able to shoot the ball hard and place it on net, you're going to win games. That's what Umbrella Academy has done. They may not have had the most pressure while sitting in IJLSA's half and looking for these solo plays, these air dribble bumps. But what they're doing is they're hitting the ball hard to each other or into the net just like that. This is why I get paid the big bucks, right? Because I know what I'm talking about. So Enzo, great turn here, able to bang that over Aladdin. Aladdin getting way too close, didn't read that play well. Again, hit the ball hard, good things happen.
Oh yeah, and like we were talking about in C tier, you know, kickoff strategies being huge, and we see that from Umbrella Academy. The fake from, I believe it was Sage, Enzo with a free ball in the corner, able to capitalize heavily on that. As they're up 5-1 into game one, Umbrella Academy with a statement going into this series, telling IJLSA, we will not let you have this easily.
Big statement. I mean, like we had said, you know, every team that you're going to watch on stream here today lost their week one matchup. So for every team, this is an important get-back game. Umbrella Academy making a statement. You know, I am biased. I'm going to say, you know, coaching from Bass is going to really help you out, and it really showed it today. So, you know, great performance, passing the ball. They had more demos. You know, they were able to not really have much of a difference with time on ball or distance or anything like that, right? Like we said, they weren't really like taking possession, but what they were doing was hitting it hard, hitting it over, IGLSA, and they just couldn't really compete. So going into game 2, if you're IGLSA, you have to really keep a third man deep if you see that Umbrella Academy is banging the ball over your head, and you have to kind of take more possession, right? Don't get into this back and forth bang battle between the two teams. Do what you do well, right? Keep your third man back and take possession of the ball. So here we get started in game 2.
Yeah, a big thing stood out to me. Omni Murder's only dropping 150 points in that game. Supposed to be the standout player for this team. I want to see a little bit more from him going into this game too. I think he's a great player, great pickup in B tier. Let's see if he's able to bring a little bit more back.
Here's a good shot from BD. Just hesitation from the side of Scythe there. I've been in those situations. It's hard, you don't know if they're going to double it, but someone has to put a hand up. I don't know, Omni or Aladdin maybe can pass back on pads that kind of put him on an island. But again, you're banging the ball to him, giving him this free opportunity. You're going to get punished, right? So, Umbrella Academy really just showcasing, right now they are the better team. They're playing better. They're doing the small things correctly. If I'm IJLSA, I really need to turn it around. We got to talk about it while we're in this game, figure out what's going on, and change up the play style.
100%. And I wonder if in between games, IJLSA talked about that at all. That minute you have between lobbies, very important to figure out what can we do better going into this next game. And on the side of Umbrella Academy, what can we do to keep on, what good things are we doing and what small things can we correct to do it even better. But Umbrella Academy looking great into this first game as they're up 1. IJLSA keeping the pressure, just like last game's Omni Murders.
Yeah, great pressure from IJLSA there. Weren't able to secure the goal. Umbrella Academy really doing well with not much boost, taking
Not
the
quite
50s.
even.
Yeah, not really worrying about the 50s. That's one thing that is important in defense I don't think it's talked about enough is when you're in defense, you don't have to go out and challenge in a corner or immediately, right? As long as you keep the ball out of the net, it doesn't matter when you challenge, right? So taking those 50s at the goal line, it prevents the fakes. It prevents them doing anything. You know what happens. You know where it is. So good job from Umbrella Academy defensively. Again, this bang ball, 2v1. Again, we got to look for the extra pass or look for the control touch. That opportunity, if you're IGLSA, has to be scored. Another miss here. Maybe it's a fake for Scythe. We'll see if he's able to score this. Air dribble around. Sage able to get a hand up. BD, good touch to himself. Going to look for a mid pass. I already know it because I know Bass. Enzo there. Great block from Omni Murders. Right? You can really just tell the coaching and the passing and the fighting each other has been huge. BD, another pass middle. Enzo looking for a back pass to Sage, giving him all the time in the world. Nobody on the backboard. Scythe able to barely reach it. Great clear. Right, we'll see here. Aladdin choosing to not 50 the ball, not even be a presence. Sage waiting on backboard, drop down pass. Close, that's an overcommit. That should be a goal. It's not. We have our first open net miss. Oh my goodness. Scythe wants that one back, but he can't. We all saw it. I'm gonna clip it and put it in match clips. Oh my goodness, he can't have that one back. So terrible mistake from Scythe. We'll see if he can bounce back in the last 2 minutes of this game. Not much time to find another goal here, right? You might be thinking, did that cost the game? I hope not, right? Let's see if Scythe can bounce back. Umbrella Academy's keeping the ball in the pressure, keeping it in the corner. Good bump from Omni.
Aladdin looking for the opportunity, not quite able. BD able to get it out. Omni Murder's just not enough boost to get to that efficiently. BD looking for the solos. Enzo kind of overcommits forward. Sage now left alone on the backside of the field. Aladdin looking for the shot. Sage able to get the pop out. As there's a double commit coming from Umbrella Academy. Can IJLSA capitalize on that? Omni Murders with a catch. Playing it slow round 1. Aladdin looking for the shot. Bottom right as it's a little bit out.
Again, if you're IGLSA, I mean, I know that the pressure's on, and missing an open net, even if you're not the one that did it, it does impact the way that you're playing the game, right? Because you're like, man, it should be 1-1 right now. But they need to take more time on these goal line opportunities. Like the extra pass or going for a bump or a demo is way better than just throwing it at net and praying that you beat the goalie, right? You need to take the guy out of the game, right? Look for your teammate and see what you can do. I mean, we have to see a change here in the last 30 seconds, or else we're going to end 1-0, and Syfe is going to really have a tough time coming back. What a goal line save from BD. I mean, this is just one of the most frustrating games to try to play against your IGLSA. Umbrella Academy just showcasing, hey, we're here to play. We are the better team. And until IGLSA shows us something, there's nothing they can say about it.
Absolutely super important save from BD there. Omnimeters, I thought for sure slotted that on the right
side.
A
miss, open net. Oh, not a miss. Wow, we see a miss flip, it looked like, from Sage. Flipped around the ball. Omni was there. BD overcommitted in the corner. And Syfe can breathe a sigh of relief. He did not cost the game. Now let's see if they can make up for it here. Maybe we see a goal. I think we're going to see an OT. OT going into game 2.
It seems Umbrella Academy not too worried about that goal being scored. Enzo putting in chat, L, Sage, throwing jokes around. Seems like vibes are high on this team, as they should be. This team's been playing absolutely phenomenally. Huge mistake, though, coming from Sage and BD getting a little bit hungry, leading into this overtime. Kind of resets on both sides, I just say.
Oh, what a pass. What a shot.
Away.
I mean, hey, he is supporting the Thaya clan as a fellow Thaya member. Congratulations to him. Great shot. But Sage, way to make up for what happened leading into OT with that whiff. Great pass off the backboard around 2 defenders. And when you have an open backboard and an open shot like that, most of the time you're going to hit it, right? And the teams that hit it, they're going to win. So, I mean, tough, right? I mean, if you're Syfe, I really feel for him. You know, they lost by a goal, went to OT. Maybe things would have been different if he had hit that open net. But I mean, if you're Umbrella Academy, one, you're happy with that game because now all the pressure's off, right? And if you're IGLSA, you still need to figure something out. Go back to the drawing board, work on the vibes, because it's real hard to come back mentally if you're the one that missed that open net and you feel like the game got stolen from you. You know, we'll see if they're able to win a game in game 3, or if we're gonna have our first sweep of the day, right? And I mean, I just have to say, Umbrella Academy right now is the better team. Now, I hope that IGLSA can show us something and say, hey, we're no slouches either. But in terms of bounce back performances, I mean, props to Umbrella Academy. They're playing real well.
Absolutely. Umbrella Academy coming in strong. I think the biggest thing they're using to their advantage right now is that midfield passing. Their passes have been so well, and we've been capitalizing on it amazingly. You know, keeping pressure on the field, putting shots on net, just making IGLSA really have to work to stay in this game. You know, it's working for them.
Yeah, and you know, going into game 3, right? I mean, that's dangerous around the net. You know, when you have your back against the wall like IGLSA does, I do expect some more whips, some more, you know, chasey behavior, play more aggressive, looking for demos. Great shot from Aladdin. And so, yeah, what I was gonna say was they might miss some shots. Aladdin says, no, we're built for the pressure, right? And here's a great shot over the head of Sage. Looked like maybe a whiff or a 50 over there around on their side, and Aladdin's there to clean it up. So, you know, maybe they're not feeling the pressure, right? Maybe it took them 2 games to warm up. I know Aladdin wasn't sure of the game time, right? He had been the one to kind of communicate starting it at a later time. So maybe this is what he... Oh, well, I've just been told Unity Esports, thank y'all for the raid. We really appreciate it. Hope y'all are going to enjoy some good gameplay here and stick around. We're going to have some higher level gameplay as we keep going. So, trying to prevent the sweep, IGLSA. Good shot from Aladdin. We'll see if they can keep this lead. You know, been a rough 2 games for them. Maybe Aladdin will be warm now, and we'll see a better game 3 from him. So,
Absolutely, and I think Umbrella Academy, you know, like I said with the last series, overconfidence definitely a big factor going whenever you have a lead. I think it's very important they stay disciplined here. BD pulling out a flip reset, you can see that confidence really showing. But stay disciplined. Don't do the dumb things that you may want to do going into
Double
this
commit on the
game.
goal
Maybe
line, open
do-
net,
Oh,
and
what
again,
a great shot!
this is one of the things that I had been saying in the last series as well. When you start double committing, and this is just a lack of comms on the IGLSA side, both players had enough boost, and both were going to hit it to a safe corner. You have to communicate about, hey, who's going to take that ball? Because if you do that, you commit and you 50 each other or you bump each other, you leave that net open. That's going to be a free opportunity for Umbrella Academy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And
Wow,
Umbrella
what a
Academy
save
almost doing
from
the exact
Enzo.
same thing. A great save from Enzo coming out of there. IGLSA, though, trying to keep the pressure on Umbrella Academy. Not the most amount of boost, though. Enzo not able to get one. Sage, it's up to him, and he gets it out. Enzo over to the corner. Scythe, keep it in this corner. Trying to keep it in the blue half here. Leaving this ball alone, though, for Aladdin.
We all took a nap there for a few seconds. Nobody wanted to play the ball. Now we'll get back to the gameplay. Sage is going to be up a little bit late. Still gets a hand on it. Looking for a double. Doesn't have it, but was able to fake Scythe there. This ball's going to the corner. Aladdin should have time to take possession. See what he does with it. Looks for a flip over. Enzo's going to take it back. So we're just kind of keeping this ball in the corners and not really anything threatening here. If you're Umbrella Academy, a miss from Scythe.
Oh, what a whiff.
Aladdin's there to cover it. But if you're Umbrella Academy, you really do want to see some more of those passing plays. That's what led them to 5 goals in game 1, and I feel like they haven't been looking for each other as much. Good demo from Enzo as I say that. Ball takes a terrible bounce, though, if you're an Umbrella Academy fan, and that is cleared away. But again, double commit from IGLSA, I would be worried about that, on them on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And great pressure coming from this IGLSA side. Umbrella Academy just seeming to not be able to get any shots right now. IGLSA keeping it in the blue half.
Yeah,
and so
but
they're
again,
trying to turn that around.
Not taking
It
time
only
when you
goes
have a
so
goal.
far,
Yeah, not taking time when you're in a 2v1, right? We saw there was a flick, and then maybe Aladdin touched it over the crossbar when you could have waited and gone for a bump, and it would have been a goal. It just seems like when they get those scoring opportunities, they get a little antsy, and Umbrella Academy has to make a save, but it's not a hard one, right? And so that is just not a recipe for success, especially as we get to these higher rated players. They're not going to have to work. And I say that, I have cursed him. He backflips and misses the save. And IGLSA scores just a bang ball. Enzo was there. An unfortunate backflip. I mean, good placement, though. Top right. Would have been a tough save regardless. So, good shot there. Unfortunate save.
100% Enzo, unfortunately not being able to get that. We're going to see if that's the reason they lose. And Enzo just kind of staring at it. It's on the goal line.
He flips on the goal line.
Oh, and
BD
BD
somehow
able to get
makes it
out.
back. BD looking for a
Nice
good
over
force
one.
there. Sage takes it. Omni's there for the touch. Not much boost, just pops it. I think for Scythe. Scythe gets 50'd. Sage should have a free ball. Probably gonna look for a teammate here. Maybe opts the solo play. Over one. Off the ceiling. Close. I like the creativity there from Sage. Able to get that
And
100 as it goes back.
And we're just watching Umbrella Academy always playing to a teammate or keeping the ball close to themselves. We're seeing some fake challenges even from BD as I've been watching this game go over to ensure that he's getting a free ball to play with here. I think IJLSA, that's the biggest difference right now, similar to the last series that we watched where,
Enzo
Black
spawned
was
on that
kinda
ball.
close.
Said I'm better. We'll see. Here's a free ball. Again, I think we can take some more time. Both teams now. I think maybe Umbrella Academy trying to get a little nervous, feeling like they shouldn't have lost this one, but that will be the dagger. Put this game out of reach. We are at least going to game 4. IGLSA prevents the sweep. Barring something miraculous from Umbrella Academy, I think that maybe this game 4 will be better for Umbrella Academy. Maybe the nerves are off, because they were thinking of the sweep, and now they'll be able just to play their game. Otherwise, though, IGLSA had a much better performance this game, much better control touches, able to put the ball on net, force Umbrella Academy to make some saves. And what happens when you put the ball in a good spot? right, you'll score. So much better game from IGLSA.
Oh yeah, 100%. IJLSA just not quite out of it yet. Really telling Umbrella Academy, watch out, we're coming back for it. Just a great game overall from them. It seemed Umbrella Academy not playing the same way they did in these last two games, kind of falling apart looking into game 3.
Yeah, and
Big momentum lead for IJLSA going into game 4.
And something that I want to point out here, right, is one, they have more demos, right? More demos means you're probably gonna win the game, and they have far more time on the ball, right? So IGLSA is taking these control touches, right? They're looking for another team, or they're getting over one, and then that first man is rotating through the play, right? Because he's not just getting the ball and then flipping back and saying, I'm done, my job is over. He's looking to get a demo and actually give his second man more space. So very good job from IGLSA. We need to see more demos from Umbrella Academy, or they need to start dodging those demos, or else it's going to be maybe a potential for IGLSA to continue winning.
Oh yeah, 100%. This a super important game for IJLSA. Literally a must-win to stay in the series. Umbrella Academy not too stressed about it, I would assume, as they have this game and another game to take it, as they're on match point here. But IJLSA, Omni looking to get something going here. Would have been crazy if he got the touch with the flip reset there. There's Aladdin over one, taking this solo. Not quite able to get over the second. Scythe double commits with him. BD kind of rushing his touch here. Kind of not a meaningful touch, as the ball's still on their side. BD probably could have taken time there. Because they're seeing a lot more bang ball, it seems, from Umbrella Academy going into this game.
And I hate to say it, Carr, but it might be some nerves from Umbrella Academy, right? That they might have thought that, okay, we're gonna have the sweep, and now they don't, and now it's like, oh man, Aladdin's warm, IGLSA is warm, and the way this is going out is not how we thought. There might be some nerves, right? Like I said, I know who their coach is. I know what they've been getting taught. And it seems like they went away from that in this last game, right? They weren't looking for each other as much. So for Umbrella Academy in the last, 3.5 minutes of this game, I really want them to try to find each other more in the midfield, look for some demos and some bumps, and really kind of get some of that on. But IGLSA having all the pressure, right? Able to put balls near the net, put them on the net, have these good control touches. So we'll see how that continues to play out, in this game 4.
Oh, yeah, and I think you're 100% right. I mean, we're seeing a lot of double commits coming from Umbrella Academy, especially between BD and Sage here. Nerves get a hold of you. It makes it very difficult to play the same way that you were beforehand. Enzo almost finding that redirect, though. Sage kind of overcommitting, but BD able to keep it in the orange half as he's going for the pass, but Omni's able to stop it. Enzo cutting cross field, not making anything useful happen. Those Omni murders get stuffed by Sage, a Cypher hitting it over to the corner. BD looking for a clear, instead centers it, but Enzo with a huge bang out. Can they capitalize on this touch? Back into the corner, Sage back flipping for the shot. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and I mean, you see there, a misread, a mistouch, yeah, and that's going to result in the goal. I mean, so, that was twice now. BD both times in the corner, right? He kind of got bailed out that first time by Enzo banging it out. But that time with a bad touch in the corner, I think he missed the ball completely, allowed it to be centered for IGLSA, and then that's an easy goal. So again, maybe some nerves. It seems like maybe they're not rotating wide enough. Good kickoff. Unfortunately, couldn't get around the bar. But it seems like they're maybe not rotating wide enough. They're making some of these reads a little bit more awkward than they need to be. But there's something going on. Omni AFK waiting for the boost. I like that strat, I guess. Thought I lagged out. But turns out, he needed that 100 boost. But again, I am worried about, this Umbrella Academy team. It seems like they're, the nerves, they're banging it, they're hitting it right here, right at Omni. So we'll see if they're able to settle down and find each other.
Yeah, I will say if Umbrella Academy can't find themselves back in this game 4, game 5 is going to look very, very unfortunate for them. As IJLSA able to get a second goal, Cypher putting in the top of the net. Umbrella Academy just falling apart here as IJLSA finding themselves in this game.
Great pass from Aladdin. BD, again, an errant play in the corner. These corners are not BD's friend right now. So, it's kind of like Atomic on Neo Tokyo, right? You don't want to be in the corner. And so BD really struggling to try to figure out, how to hit the ball or make a good challenge there. And IGLSA is capitalizing.
Man, they've just looked so much better as the series goes on. I mean, IGLSA really playing a lot more as a team. Is Scythe
And that
with a
ball
stealing
is just
shot.
straight in. I mean, IGLSA bullying Umbrella Academy. They heard us talking. They heard us saying that Umbrella Academy was the better team, and they said, well, can the better team do this, right? And, I mean, this is just unfortunate for Umbrella Academy. You know, you thought you were in the prime position to get a sweep. You win. You have 5 goals put up, and, you know, IGLSA is on the back foot. But here they're awake, and they're ready to play.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a crazy storyline throughout this series. And another
That
goal
shot's
for
in.
IGLSA.
It's a complete and utter categorical meltdown from Umbrella Academy. These errant touches we're not able to follow. We're rotating away from the play. We're allowing our net to be open. I mean, they're about to put up even more goals than Umbrella Academy did in game 1. The momentum of this series has completely shifted the other way. And, you know, I think we had mentioned it last week, and you know, I've talked about it with some of the teams that I've played on and teams that, you know, I've worked with. When you're down 4 goals and you have a minute left, the game is over, right? You know, especially in the higher level games, you're not going to come back from this. So you need to use this minute as an extra minute of a timeout to discuss and talk about, hey, what's going on? What's the mentality, right? Are our heart rates going a little crazy, right? I'm a big fan of breathing exercises as another goal goes in garbage time, right? Where you need to somehow calm down and bring it back to center and know, hey, we're just playing a video game that we play all the time. How can we, you know, we've proven that we can beat this team. How do we come out and show it in game 5?
Oh yeah, it's an absolute massacre here on, I forgot the name of the map, but the Paris map. Just unfortunate, right? Umbrella Academy looking so strong into the series, and IGLSA is just, it's just a skill diff at this point. It's 5-0. We have 30 seconds left in game 4. I
Looks
mean,
like another whiff from Umbrella Academy. I mean, it is.
Oh my God! What a double wave recovery.
There we go. A little consolation goal, and I mean that does wonders. Now, if I'm Umbrella Academy, I am playing very strong defense. You want to be the last person to have a goal going into this game 5. You know, good double from Sage, a misread on the backboard. You know, I hate to say it's too little, too late, but it is. You know, it's like a raindrop in the ocean of you know, the way this game has gone, and you know, we'll see if that's not good. That's not good. They were setting up the Brazil, so now they're 1 goal away. I mean, like I said, if you're Umbrella Academy, you were wanting to keep that goal until the very end, and right now, all the momentum is back on IGLSA's side, and that's even more demoralizing than it would have been to not score at all.
Oh yeah, this is our this is our first game 5, right? Black Bulls took it in 4. You know, it's such an unfortunate story for Umbrella Academy here. IGLSA giving them no mercy in this game.
And the Brazil has been confirmed.
This is the first Brazil, I believe, of the season.
Yeah, you know, you don't see too many of those in 3v3, especially. I mean, again, it just seems like Umbrella Academy was playing with their monitors off. You know, maybe the younger brother took the controller from a couple of these guys, and they're making some uncharacteristic mistakes. But you know, this is going to be a big mental battle of can they bounce back. You know, and that's been the story of this week for all of these teams on stream is can they bounce back, right? Can they show, hey, we lost week 1. Can we show that we have what it takes to win in week 2? There is no time like trying to stop the reverse sweep, right? Hey, we really need to show that we are here to play, that we can play, and we'll see if, you know, if Umbrella Academy can do it.
Oh yeah, and we really need, during this minute, a huge mental reset for Umbrella Academy here. Just, you've got to put your head in the right place going into game 5, or else it's going to be just as bad as it was in game 4. We've got to get the mental reset.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, one thing that we talked about. I mean, we talked about it in the post game interview of last game. You know, with Voodoo doing a kickflip in between games to show, you know, hey, the vibes are good. Maybe that's something that needs to happen from Umbrella Academy. Something else to point out too, though, is that Sage is playing on 200 ping. So game is very difficult when you're at that high of a ping. But that is to say, they've won 2 games. You know, they had the first 2, right? So, you know, excuses can only get you so far. And, you know, we say that, hey, that is a tough deal. But, you know, he plays on US East. That's where he's choosing to be. And needs to get it done here in Game 5. Game 5 underway. We see a good kickoff. I think IGLSA is going to take control. Good fit from Enzo in the midfield. Hits it around 1. I like the speed already. It feels like a different team. It feels like they took that minute and really reset. Sage is going to take an air dribble setup. Going to look for another one. Look for a 50. Goes to the wall. It seems like nobody at Umbrella Academy was playing that side. IGLSA is going to get a free ball. Good challenge from Enzo. Sage already up. He's at 200 ping what? Getting a good read. BD looks like an overcommit there, bumping. Enzo should be the first this ball. He decides to hit the brakes. Syph hits it past him. Tough read from Sage. And I can't really tell you what happened there. Seemed like the ball was hit right at BD, and then he drove forward, then tried to backflip, wasn't really sure what to do. And, you know, Omni gets a goal right behind him. So, first, 40 seconds of the game, IGLSA looking like they're going to repeat Game 4. And if I'm a betting man, if Umbrella Academy doesn't score this next goal and IGLSA goes up 2-0, series is over. You heard it here first. If this game goes to 2-0, the series is done. If Umbrella Academy wants to win it, they have to score now.
And just as you speak it, Aladdin putting it in the back of the net, IGLSA up now 2-0. Umbrella Academy really in trouble, as this is the first minute of gameplay. They're able to get 2 goals on them.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what they may have talked about, but it may have needed to be something a little different for them to get back into this game.
Yeah, and we talked about it last series, Car, and we mentioned
oh
it,
no,
right? A bad touch leads to a goal. And
Beating and Sage bumping each other on the goal line.
We talked about it. Rocket League is a momentum-based game. There's only 5 minutes, and then you only get a minute, right? So if you have the worst game of your career, good bump. It's gonna be in. I mean, maybe there's life, but I'm worried because now they're just setting up to get Brazil twice.
Absolutely,
But,
and this was something that they did so well in Game 5 to win it 5-1. But just the bumps, the physical aspect of the game. I think bringing that back into their game the way that they just did is going to give them so many more goals. Enzo able to get this boost, looking for the solo play. Omni kind of awkward, and Sage trying to find that demo, but just not quite able to.
I mean, I like what I'm seeing, right? It seems like Umbrella Academy is a team that's not dead, right? If they're going, for these bumps and these demos and they're making these plays. But is it enough, right? Can they beat the momentum-filled IGLSA who's making these good solo plays? They're making these goal line stops. It's yet to be seen. So we'll see here. They need to stop the bleeding and eventually try to fight back. So we'll see here as we get in. 2 minutes gone. I mean, IGLSA looking for a good flick. Sage is there for the save. Sage is going to follow it, look for a 50. Syph's going to take the boost. That's not a good sign. IGLSA with all the pressure. Enzo trying to follow it. A little bit slow to it. Good mid pass. Oh, a booming clear from Sage. You don't need 200 ping to score that. Oh my goodness.
And just like that, Umbrella Academy back into the game. 2-3, 1 goal lead from IGLSA. 2:48 left. Plenty of time to get back into it.
Plenty of time to get back into it.
I think they've definitely found themselves again in this Game 5. The question is, can they continue, or is IGLSA going to shut them down?
Good control touch from Enzo. Going to feed this to the corner. Aladdin's there with the beat. Great demo through. Beatty forcing the ball for Sage. Sage will be first. Sage should also be first to this ball. Off the backboard. Syph with a great read. Able to keep control of it too. Bumps Enzo. But a misread. Open net. And Beatty is there. I mean, you know what? Don't listen to me, right? Because I said if I was a betting man, I don't really win any bets I try to go for. So, I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. But, Umbrella Academy showing that they, were down but not out, brought the game back level. And now we have 2.5 minutes to decide who wins this series.
Oh yeah, now if I'm IJLSA, I'm very worried. Omni
Oh!
missing.
Oh no! Oh
Throw.
my goodness!
Oh, but Scythe able to slot it. Enzo not able to get there in time. Omni Murders really making it difficult for IJLSA there to score that net.
I mean, Omni Murder's making it difficult for
Holy.
himself. I mean, but again, that comes from a misread from BD trying to do too much. You know, I think he had time to let the ball bounce or even like read it from the ground instead of jumping from the backboard. You know, I don't know if those are nerves now of saying like, oh man, maybe we can do it, right? And then you tense up and all of a sudden it's a little bit harder. But good touch from Omni. BD with a backflip.
Oh my
Aladdin
God.
wasn't there. I mean, I hate to say it, but it feels like a lot of these have been on BD, right? Like we've seen a lot of, you know, missed touches, missed flips, and it's really costing his team this series. So we'll see if he's able to lock in the last minute and 45 of regulation, see if they can get a goal. BD leaves it for Aladdin.
As you say that, though, BD hitting the ball across their net as Enzo had a free ball to claim. It feels BD just kind of nervous, kind of, you know, anxious for this game, really not wanting to lose in Game 5, especially with the lead that they had.
Aladdin with a good setup. Leaves it for Omni. Very smart. He had no boost. Omni staying on. Look for a back pass mid. Enzo's there for the 50. Aladdin cuts it, puts it around. BD Scythe looking for a bump. BD as well. No, BD does get killed. He got chased around the pitch. Scythe with a miss, faking it for Omni. Omni takes it to the side. Sage is there. Might be open if he's able to double this forward. Doubles it high. No one there to... Great demo from Scythe. Able to keep the third man from Umbrella Academy from scoring that. BD too high, no angle to score. Good speed from Sage. Good back from Omni. Enzo will be the first one with this ball. Good touch, able to follow it, chooses not to. Sage with a good 50, might be going straight in. Omni, great patience. I mean, I would be jumping at that one if I'm Game 5. Bad 50. Oh, and it rolls in. Oh no, and who was that? Enzo with a bad touch. Couldn't get it back. Sage. That ball is very hard to read on 200 ping, especially when you're expecting something else. And goal goes through.
I hate to be the one to say it here, Parker, but I think IJLSA just did what nobody thought they were going to do and reverse sweep Umbrella Academy. Only 25 seconds left in this Game 5. 2 goals coming out of that. It's so...
Yeah, it's very difficult to win when you allow that many goals through, and Umbrella Academy did their best, you know, but at the end of the day, they went away from what worked. IGLSA made the adjustments, they made the solo plays, and they're going to end it with a bang. 6-3, IGLSA completes the reverse sweep. What a game, what a series, and we still have more for you. But, I mean, if you're Umbrella Academy, that one hurts. That one hurts a lot. You know, I don't even think there were GGs, right? You just kind of left. You feel empty on that one. But IGLSA, great job on the comeback. Way to play it through, not give up on it even when you're down 2 goals. They had the better control. They had the better solo plays. You know, I'm interested to see kind of what their mentality was and if they picked anything up from Umbrella Academy. But yeah, I really just feel like that was Umbrella Academy's to lose, and lose it they did.
100%. Super unfortunate for Umbrella Academy. Great game, though, from IJLSA. Great series. Great reverse sweep. You know, speaking of that, we have Cypher coming up for an interview. Cypher, how you doing, my friend?
What up, Courage? Just tell me something.
Yeah, sorry. How you doing? How you doing after this reverse sweep performance here that y'all got?
Pretty good. I mean, we weren't playing our best game, our best Rocket League.
Yeah, you know, I have a question for you, Sype, as far as that goes. You know, Aladdin, obviously there were some scheduling issues, right? Y'all thought that it was confirmed for a later day. Was there a little bit of tilt or trying to get warmed up in those first 2 games? Because it really looked like y'all were a completely different team coming in, you know, games 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, so our idea of the first game was we were just gonna play really as fast as we can, try to warm up, get comfortable. And obviously, nothing went our way that way. We weren't in sync at all. So we're just trying to shake out the bugs for that first game.
Hmm. I mean, was there
Oh,
was
no,
there
go ahead.
anything that y'all noticed, like play style wise, like in those first two games where y'all were like, hey, we're gonna make this change, or was it more of just, hey, we're gonna get warm, we think we're the better team, we know we're the better team, and result doesn't matter these first two games because we know it's gonna happen?
It was a little bit of both. We knew in the first two games we weren't getting our touches to each other optimally. We were just hitting the ball. The ball always got put in a bad space. The last three games, we executed well on that. We were able to hit the ball to each other and continue to play and keep the other team on their heels.
Hmm. I mean, it really showed. I mean, Brazilian, and then was there a little bit of nerves in that game 5, right, when they were able to bring it back, tie game 3-3, after such a dominating performance, what were the comms like in that last, minute and a half where it was almost like, could we lose the reverse sweep?
We were pretty calm the whole time. We weren't worried. We were just playing our game, and we knew we'd be able to get the results if we just keep playing our game, the way we're training.
Yeah, well, I mean, congratulations, Syph, again. I mean, y'all had a heck of a second half of that series. So congratulations. Good luck going forward. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Great. No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, y'all. Well, that's it for that interview with Syph. We're going to go to a short break, and then after that, we are going to have Team Avatar versus Demon Slayer Core in our A tier. Going to be a revenge match with Days playing against Seam, so you want to stick around and catch that out. So we'll see y'all in a little bit. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back for that short break. Like I had mentioned, we are now going to showcase our A-tier match. Team Avatar playing Demon Slayer Core. Okay, we have Days, Mulig, Firefight playing against Thailand, Seam, and Rectals. Very exciting game. Like I had mentioned previously, I had talked to Days earlier this week, and he had been saying that he felt like they were the better team last week. Unfortunately, they came up short. Avatar, same thing as well. They came up short, but they felt like they could have gotten it done. Now, I had mentioned Days and Demon Slayer had played Team Avatar in the first look preseason tournament. They lost due to Days lagging out, and he said that he wasn't even at his home setup. He was playing somewhere else, we all know how bad that is and that can be. So they're really looking for this revenge and saying, hey, we're here to showcase that we are better than these guys. We are going to start our season off, at least even, and we're going to knock Avatar down to 0-2. I am a Team Avatar player. I back my boys. We actually had Rectals sub up and play for us earlier today, and he was playing lights out. So I really am looking forward to seeing how he's able to perform, if he's able to keep that form, and really take over. My biggest player, I think, one of the best players in A tier, I think he's underrated really, really heavily, is Rectals. When he's able to feel comfortable and play his game, it's lights out. It's hard to read. It's a very difficult style to play against. And when you're able to play with him and learn how that works, I think there's not much they can do. As far as Days goes, I think, he has, the ball in his court, and he's going to try to come out and show what he can do. So very excited to see Demon Slayer versus Avatar here for this A tier matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a very interesting matchup, specifically, with Demon Slayer Core being a very fundamental scene. Days, Mulig, very fundamental players. Firefight being put on that team. I'm very interested to see how they can put Firefight in there and make him fit. Pulling him up from B tier even. Days definitely must have seen some from him. And then as far as Team Avatar goes, this is a very capable team. A bunch of very good players. You have Seam, Thailands, and Rectals, all capable of doing great things on ball and off ball. Super excited for the series. These are two great teams, two teams that I personally have, high on my list as far as A tier goes. So super excited to get this started off. But
yeah, Car, you have some insider information, right? You're playing in A tier, as well as GMing here. Who do you have taking this game?
Honestly, I think it's really a coin toss. If this game doesn't go to Game 5, I'll be very surprised. Both of these teams, I think, very equal in skill. I think that, I think Demon Slayer Core going to be able to barely slide out with this one. I'm sorry, wrong team. Team Avatar are going to be able to barely slide out with them. I think when it comes down to just individualistics, they just have a little bit more. As we see Thailand's to seem able to just slot that barely from the side of the net even.
It seems like we have the teams flip. That is Team Avatar taking the early lead. Demon Slayer on the orange side following there. Great shot. Really going to represent my boys. Really looking for, like I said, Rectals to come out and show what he can do. I think the keys to success, if you are Team Avatar, it's going to be controlling the ball, right? Slowing down the offense, finding Rectals on these outlet passes, letting him go for these double taps, these skims, stuff that he does very, very well, right? And you're going to play solid around him. But there, looks like a bump on the goal line. Good shot from Firefight, able to sink in. Goal number 2 to level the score at 1-1. Yeah, bump there. Looks like, I can't see who that was, but they were able to bump Rectals. Look like Mulig, able to bump Rectals and prevent the goal from being saved. So, level game, right? We talked about it last week. Let's see how this game goes. There's always the on-stream jitters. You're always worried about, hey, this is my first game, playing. We have, production with it. We have people in the lobby. Are they going to be able to play the way that they know how to play?
Oh yeah, and I think you'll find this Demon Slayer team you'll be very fond of them. I know how much you love your physical play in threes and Demon Slayer. Just from doing scrims against them and whatnot, very physical team. They love finding their bumps on their way out, and I think that'll be a huge difference maker, throughout this series. If they land their bumps, if they're able to create that kind of 2v3 pressure at Team Avatar, just what can you do against it?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's my favorite thing to talk about in Rocket League in general. I know people think that bumping is cringe and it's annoying, but the team that bumps more and demos more and finds those correct opportunities to look for them and doesn't chase. We know a player on Powerpuff Girls that might chase demos a little too much. I'm looking at Samino. But if you're able to look at and get those demos at the appropriate times, it really sets you up for success. So we'll see if that comes into effect here. We'll be looking out for Demon Slayer Core, looking at how many demos they're able to have at the end of each game and whether or not they win that game. So level game 1-1, just about halftime here. Neither team.
The own goal.
Own goal. Moolig said, if I can't score it, I will just use you. Tylen's looking for the bump there, but kind of following at an awkward angle. The 50 goes right past Seam. Not much you can do. One thing to note is that Seam is also one of our EU players, so especially a 50 like that, when you're on high ping, going to be almost certainly unreadable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm super excited to see what Tylen's is able to offer to this Team Avatar team going to the series. Last week, playing against the Powerpuff Girls, he had kind of a rough time, only averaging 235 points per game. I have big respect for Tylen's. He was an amazing player last season and the season before that, so I'm super excited to see what he's able to offer and hoping that he has a better game going into this, but an unfortunate start for him with the own goal, giving Demon Slayer Corp the lead 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, good. Even first, 3 minutes of this game, unfortunate own goal from Tylen's, which is giving Demon Slayer the lead here. But just as I say that, Seam is there to, after an errant touch from Firefight, kind of popped it up. Didn't seem like he had much boost to play with it. Looks like Days missed. Seam is there, able to collect, puts that top left. Great shot from Seam. So very even game. I really haven't seen, either team really step up and say, hey, we're the better team here. It's kind of been trading blows, just filling each other out. So I expect this last minute and 50 seconds to be very, very, very solid, evenly matched, last little minute of gameplay.
Oh yeah, and super unfortunate on that last goal. I mean, it looks like Days bailing Firefight, saying, Days, you can leave this, I have. And Days completely trusting and just gets an unfortunate touch, maybe not meaning to do that, straight into Seam's hands. But great demo from Rectal. Seam not able to get the touch, though, kind of slows things down. And Mulik keeping the pressure on as Rectal's trying to get it out. Tylen's around one. Firefight low on boost here. Gonna be able to get it out of the...
Yeah, you really wish, not to be nitpicky and
letting it leak completely.
Hindsight is 2020, but if you're Tylen's there, I really wish that you would have gotten that corner boost from Demon Slayer Core, right, instead of missing it and allowing them to have that 100 and be able to escape out of defense. We're now in the higher tiers. All these players are going to be GC2 and above. You expect, better gameplay, better understanding, right? There might be a couple GC ones, but I think that, they're pretty good. And you expect them to understand about boost control, boost management, how to steal some certain things like that. As I say that, Rectal's great shot top right. Again, my player to watch. I really think that he's going to take over this game. And if you're Demon Slayer Core, you need to find a way to stop him. And that's all that you can do. So we'll see how this goes. Last 35 seconds. Demon Slayer Core looking to neutralize this before the game's over. First game matters a lot whenever you're in these best of fives, like we've said. Outside of that big reverse sweep we just saw last series, but game one matters a lot. So we'll see if Avatar is able to hold on or Demon Slayer Core can tie it up. Good setup from Days, looking for the flip. Decides to fake. Rectals is there with control, flips it out. This probably will be the game. Rectals with a bad touch. Maybe I said it too early. Rectal's trying to find Firefight. Talons will drop it. And that is the end of game one. Like I said, Rectals and Team Avatar playing well, getting that dub. So I know that Carr had mentioned that Demon Slayer here is a very physical team, very demo heavy. So let's look at these stats to see where they line up as far as demos go. Well,
The opposite.
turns out Carr was wrong. And Team Avatar really showcasing 6 demos to only the 1 of Demon Slayer. And like I have said, so Team Avatar has six demos and Demon Slayer has 6 deaths. So very good play from Avatar. The team that demos the most and plays the most physical, they are going to be the ones that win the game. So we'll see if Demon Slayer is able to reverse that and actually, start making their presence felt on the field. But yeah, Carr, what'd you see?
I thought it was a great game from both teams. I think just unfortunate mistouches really from Demon Slayer. I think that Team Avatar just had more meaning behind all of their touches, had more to say whenever they were on the ball than Demon Slayer did here. I think Demon Slayer have some stuff to work on as far as, let's get this ball in a good place for the team, because it seems, I don't want to call it selfish, but we're kind of playing for the ball just for ourselves, and unfortunate for that ball to sit on the goal line for it seems like an eternity.
Days there leaving that ball instead of trying to at least maybe 50 or dunk it in. Not sure what the comms were there. Maybe someone was calling him to leave. But Thailand's able to take possession. Kind of an awkward bounce. We'll leave this for Rectals. Rectals is going to hit this out. Over 1. Firefight should have to the sidewall. Seam with a misread. Firefight also with a misread. Thailand's with a misread. Now we have Days finally keeping it under control. Hits it to Rectals. Gets demoed for his troubles. Ball goes out. Should bounce up. Seam is going to take good possession here. Days, great 50. Way to read that. Thailand's low shot. That's going to be a goal. Perfect placement. Sees a bad touch. Knows that someone is on the backboard. It looked like Rectals was there trying to bump Mulig. Force him to go high. Thailand's bottom left. That's going to be a goal every day of the week.
It looks like Firefight just getting caught out, roaming around in the midfield there, rather than, playing his net, playing back, caught on 0 boost as well. Kind of question, what his thought process was there. But Days trying to get this out of the corner seam for another shot, but not quite able to get it there as Firefight has possession, taking up wall, trying to get it around 1, and he does. Mulig up early, falls straight down. Rectals with control. Days with the 50 as it bounces mid. Firefight for the shot. Not quite able to get it strong enough.
Thailand's with almost a little bit of a misread. I mean, we're seeing, I think, some jitters here because these are some touches and some reads that all 6 of these players normally feel comfortable making and comfortable playing at high speed. Not only just like touching, but making the touch at speed. So we'll see if they're able to settle down as this series continues. Thailand's incredible air dribble bump, but leaves the ball and doesn't end up getting the follow-up touch. I think that one should have been a goal. We take that one back. Days with a pinch out. Bang. Rectals follows good 50. Seam looking for a bump. Firefight says no thank you. Takes the ball out. Thailand's going under. Mulig waits patient. 50 to the out mid. Days is still there. I mean, great 50 from Team Avatar. Demon Slayer Core needs to be much more careful taking these 50s. They're spilling out right to Team Avatar. Seam being patient, waiting on the boost. You see Rectals wall dashing back. Seam popping it for Rectals. Good speed. He misreads it, and that will somehow not be a goal. Somehow that's not a goal. Jiminy Christmas, it's not a goal. All three of Demon Slayer Core had each an opportunity. All 3 of them decided that they wanted the crossbar instead of the actual goal. We forgot what game we're playing, and therefore Team Avatar gets out with their lives, and they score on the other end. I cannot believe what I've just seen. Carr, are you sure this is A tier?
Man, it's looking really tough on both teams, if I'm being completely honest. A lot of balls that we should be reading, a lot of touches that we should be making. Just neither of these teams are doing that. Kind of concerns me for the rest of the tier, because I hope to God that it's not like this, or else it'll be quite an unfortunate showing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things. I mean, again, I think that there is something to be said about being on stream and them needing to settle down. But these misses are uncharacteristic, right? I mean, you play with these players more than I do, but I play with them still a fair amount, and I hold all of these players at least in some regard as players that can hit the ball, can rotate, can do the small things right, and we're just not seeing that in this game.
100%. These are all capable players. All of these guys I completely respect. And it's so unfortunate having to sit here and watch these guys not do what I know that they're able to on both sides of the field. But I do think that you have a point. Like, Tylen's here should not be making this kind of touch. He's so much more capable than that. But I think that's as the game goes on, as the series goes on, unless it dies early, I think we'll be looking at a lot more of a competitive game from both sides of the field.
Yeah, you mentioned that we have a minute and 20 seconds left, still 2 goals down. I really hope that Demon Slayer Core is able to come back here and at least put a goal on to build momentum for the rest of this game. We had a great series, last series with the reverse sweep. So really hoping to see, a solid series here where these players actually can showcase their true potential. But I mean, that being said, right, there are days that are like this, right? We've all had those days where you just log on and the sticks don't feel the way that they should, right? It feels loose, feels tight, something feels wrong, right? And it's going to be, hey, can you which team can adapt to that quickest? Which team can still make the plays, at least at some degree, right? And right now, Team Avatar is that team, right? They're able to, put the ball in the back of the net. They find a way, right? Winning teams win. Doesn't matter how it looks, they win.
Yeah, 100%. And, oh, what a great demo. Seam able to get the touch out, though. Firefight not able to find it as well. I do think, respectively, we're talking these players aren't doing what we know they can do. But I think Daze has been putting on a great show. I think the only issue, what a shot from Seam. Mulig
back
past the
post.
far post.
Yeah, those rotations, I mean, we saw it, I believe that was in C tier, right, where you rotate past far post. We see it here in A tier, right? Mulig rotating past the far post. Shot goes right behind him, unable to save it. Again, way harder to drive backwards than it is forward. So, good shot from Seam. I like what I'm seeing from Avatar. As an Avatar member myself, we're playing well. We're making the most of what we can. And Demon Slayer Core, needs to come together after this, right? Backs on the wall, they need to figure it out.
Yeah, 100%. And like I was trying to say before that goal got scored, I think Daze is looking the best on the field right now. But, when it comes to A tier, you can't have one guy looking good. This is a team game, right? 3v3, every single person on the field counts here. They can fire, need to bring just a little bit more to the table, to get them back into this game.
Yeah, and I mean, we see it even here again in the stats, right? Team Avatar with 4 demos, and Demon Slayer with just 2, and it's just a recipe for disaster. 2 assists, I mean, Team Avatar's finding each other, they're playing together, right? Especially when the individual mechanics and the individual touches feel off. You really have to rely on your team and looking for each other and right making just the one touch plays, the one touch passes, the one touch shots. And if you don't do that, right, and if you're like, hey, even though my mechanics are kind of out of whack, but I'm gonna still try to take this air dribble, flip reset, double tap, ceiling shot, whatever it might be, right, and then we miss it, all of a sudden we're leaving our team in a 2v3. So I think the team that recognizes, hey, maybe I'm a little bit off today, I'm going to start finding my team, they're going to be the better team. So Team Avatar really doing it well. We'll see if Demon Slayer can fight back, maybe at least give some type of showing, that say, hey, we're here to play. So we'll see in this game 3 what we have.
100%. Demon Slayer Core needing to keep the mental strong. Hopefully during that minute that they had, they talked about, hey, what can we fix? Great bump from Firefight. Daze on net, but Tylen's able to get the save here. As Rectal's starting a counterattack off the backboard. Mulig looking for a touch, able to get one out. Seems waiting for it, pops over one, but dies to keep it going. Tylen's not letting this ball cross over, and Avatar just keep great pressure in the first 20 seconds of the game here. Looking kind of concerning for Demon Slayer Core.
Yeah, same with the uncharacteristic miss. But Rectals is there to clear it over to Seam. Talon's going to leave that boost. I think Firefight's going to go steal it, and Mulig demos Rectals, so we have a 1v3 for a moment. Team is able to come in, play midfield, wait for Daze to get this touch. Firefight jumps, gives away possession. Rectals finding Seam. What a great pass. Seam looking for the double. Can't get it. Good demo. Should be an open net on the backside. Somehow it's not in. I don't know what happened there. It might have been a bad 50, but it was open for a moment. Firefight going to clear this ball to the corner. Seems to wait for it. Puts it on net. Great shot. Close. a little bit wide. Firefight gonna take control. Flips into this with 0 boost. Rectals is there off the ceiling. Good challenge. Seam with the misread. Great double from Daze. Went, again, little too quick. Would have liked to see some time taken. Rectals flicks over Moolig. We see Tylands with a good 50. Rectals with a double demo almost, at least chasing 2. Got 1. Rectals with a 50. Daze should be there. Tylands beats him to it. Uses all of his boosts to do so. Daze with a good fake chow. Unfortunate touch. In the corner for free. Double from Rectals. Daze jumps, calls Moolig off. Moolig creeps out into the corner. Tylands has a free ball. Looks for a midfield pass. Seam is up. 50 there from Firefight. Good save from him. Rectals alone. Can he do well with this? Gives it to Daze. Daze looking for eligible bump. Double commit. Leaving you in a 1v3. Someone turn around. Seam does well. No one there on Demon Slayer Core, I think, recognized that it was a 1v3. Nobody was playing for that demo or that bump. So, should have been a better play from Demon Slayer Core. They had a chance, kind of gave it away. But, I mean, I like what I'm seeing. This is a much better game 3 from them.
And Demon Slayer Core just feels like there's so many missed opportunities. What a demo from Fire and the pinch into the net from the 50. Great demo from Firefight, clearing the net, sweeping the net, able to open it wide for Moolig.
I mean, you said
it. A great 50.
You said it, Carr, right? Demon Slayer Core is an aggressive team. They're a physical team. And, you know, they haven't been so far today. But here in this game 3, they get a demo, and it results directly into a goal. So hopefully we see more of that from them. And they're able to showcase, hey, you know, we can play a very physical style of Rocket League. And that results in some goals.
100%. I think also Demon Slayer Core with just so many... Oh, and the
own goal!
Team.
So we see Moolig, the benefactor of 2 different own goals from Team Avatar. First, he makes Tylan's own goal. Here, he pinches it right into Seam and makes Seam own goal at 101 kph. Really bang that thing through. So, you know, good job from Moolig playing some mind games, you know, showing that he could do it. Rectals with a 1v1. Hits it bar down. Tylan should have a free shot. He does. Good kickoff from Team Avatar. Way to neutralize the damage. Basically keeping it at a 1-0 game.
Yeah,
good
Dave's
shot.
just getting stuck on the ceiling of the net there. Not able to cover at all, and Tylan's able to just put it right in front of Daze's face. Tell him, hey, save this.
Yep, Daze, they're able to win the kickoff this time. Daze takes the boost. Looking for a mid pass. Tylan gets the bump. Both players whiff. A little whifty. All right, Tylands takes the ball, flicks it over. Great flick. Moolig is there. Good touch out to the side, able to keep that safe. Again, good demo from Tylands on the way back through. Flick to the corner. Gonna be there for Rectals. Rectals is trying to get bumped from Moolig. Daze with a good 50. Gonna keep pressure. Not able to find the boost or the bump. Kind of overcommitting for that a little bit. Good mid pass, but Firefight wisely chooses not to commit, knowing he's third man. Right? And if he gets beat, it's in their net. So good patience from him. And they don't need a goal. Avatar in their own corner. Ball in the midfield. Rectals and Tylands both go for it. Daze goes all the way back for boost. Rectals wave dash fail. Loses it. Gets the mid boost. Bad touch. Tylands is there. Daze takes a good 50.
You know, and you can see, like you were saying, you know, this Demon Slayer Corp team just trying to make a lot more physical touches. That last drive, Moolig trying to get the demo on not Rectals. I believe it was Tylan sitting in net. You know, just open up the field for these guys. And I think, you know, it is a big thing that they're good at, a big thing that they need to take advantage of. As a great clear from Moolig and Seam off of the back wall. Daze looking for the shot. Firefight, not quite able to miss. Or not quite able to hit it into the net. You know, I think Firefight having a rougher series than usual. We're seeing a lot of whiffs coming out from him. But you can almost say it's kind of expected, right? Fire being brought up from B tier. He has a lot to live up to in these A tier matches.
Yeah, and as we get to the final 30 seconds of regulation, Demon Slayer Core really hoping to hold on to this 1-goal lead, keeping the ball in the corner. Quick go from Moolig, keeps it in, good follow flip. Tylan's good control. Firefight meets with the midfield. Good 50. Right now, battling in this midfield, hoping for possession. Either team really trying to find a good, you know, attack opportunity. So far, nothing's really happening. It's just trading possession in midfield. Daze is there. Nothing's gonna happen from the touch from Rectals. Good 50. Seam is there. Moolig 1v1. Can't get the dunk. Moolig does a great job saving that. That will probably drop. It's up. It somehow bounces up. Rectals is there,
Oh
and
my
it goes
God.
in. Where did the defense go? I mean, maybe they thought the ball was down like I did, but it seems like they backflip from Moolig, Tylan's bumps Days, and Firefight wasn't around. Going into OT here of Game 3, this could be it. If Team Avatar scores this goal, this series is over.
It would be so unfortunate if Demon Slayer Corps loses this game from a 0-second goal like that. Rectal's deciding to not put it on net, but play it into the corner. I mean, it's just so unfortunate. It's an astronomical throw from Demon Slayer if they lose this game and end up getting swept here.
Good touch from Days. Gonna find Moolig. Moolig throws it to the midfield. Unfortunate. Double
There's
commit,
no
but
way.
it's a pinch.
There's no way. Okay.
No, Seam says I'm there. You're not peeking on me in my lobby. Seam takes it. Bad touch from Firefight, but he's able to take it around. Beats over Tylan's. Moolig, very patient. Good choice to wait. Rectals goes to the wall, takes it across. Firefight has no boost, leaves the corner. Tylan's will have it, but he gets dunked. Bad touch from Rectals. Firefight with a good 50. A fake from Seam. I don't know if I agree with that, but it seems like Moolig saved the shot of his own teammate. Firefight looking for the double here. Can't find it. Zero boost on the backboard. Moolig keeps it in. Tylan's clears it around the side. Doesn't have much boost to follow it. Looks for a dunk. Can't find it. Good demo from Days. We're now in a 2v3. Good clear. Does well.
Yeah, pressure
Right.
from Demon Slayer Court. They are not letting up here. Team
There-
Avatar
yeah,
under
it has
fire
been-
on all fronts here.
It has been a total, just free-for-all. Demon Slayer Core taking as many shots as they possibly can. Can Team Avatar, save it has been the question. So far, they've been doing well. But the longer this OT goes on, the less that you want to be the person on the receiving end of all those shots. So good 50 in the
100%.
midfield. Scary
Just like
shot
that.
there. Rectals does well to clear it around. Moolig with a shot. Open net. Can Days find it? No. But Moolig finds it. Days works as a fake. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Days missing the ball, but it still goes in the back of the net, so that's all right. Right over Tylan's head. Demon Slayer Core almost with the throw at 0 seconds. They're still able to come out on top. And now we have ourselves a series. It looks like Demon Slayer Core is settling in. We didn't see as many whiffs, as many bad plays. So we're excited to see what's going to happen in Game 4.
Oh yeah, almost an astronomical throw from Demon Slayer Corp. Able to keep it going. Moolig having a phenomenal game. Getting 6 demos going into this. Now this is a Demon Slayer Corp team that I know to be true. 10 demos on the side of Demon Slayer Corp to Avatar's 4.
Again, something that I'm curious, and I know we have our production behind the scenes, if we could see, the percentage of wins by a team that has the most demos. I really would be interested to see, because it feels almost 100%, right? It feels like, if you're a team and you get more demos, you're going to get more shots. And then you get more shots, you're just going to win the game, right? It's going to leak in. So I really do wonder, what that correlation is. So, great game from Demon Slayer. Way to bounce back. Almost getting swept is a very difficult thing to feel. I'm glad they were able to come back, but now I worry, is Avatar going to get that comeback?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, phenomenal game from Demon Slayer Corp. Things got a little shaky towards the end of the game, but just Team Avatar under so much pressure. Demon Slayer Corp did not want to lose that game, and they really showed it. Putting the amount of shots on net that they did. We're looking at Game 4 here, another must-win for Demon Slayer Corp. Team Avatar is on match point. Can they pull out a second one, or is series ending here? I think the big question here, the big player in question here is going to be Firefight. Can he perform when he needs to, be that third player on this team that they need him to be?
Yeah, Rectals and Seam, another double commit. I mean, I will say the one thing knowing about playing with Rectals is there are times where he feels like he has to do everything, and he can overcommit, with the best of them and really try to make a touch that may not even be that good, right? He goes for a corner double when there's a guy that has a wide open shot on net. So we'll see if he's able to settle down or, at least communicate it out, and so that way these double codes for Avatar can kind of start slowing down. So good bang from Demon Slayer Core. No one's home.
What?
No one's home. I don't know where the third man went. Seam with the pass. Daze bangs it. I don't know where Rectals is. Looks like he went for the corner boost, didn't have enough boost in all the pads, and we start off 1-0. Demon Slayer Core saying, hey, you know, we saw the reverse sweep from the last series. We thought we might as well get active and do the same thing this series.
100%. Firefight with a great touch. Can he put this in the net? Not quite able to get the read. Neither is Rectals, though. An unfamiliar whiff for him. Daze looking for a touch from mid as Tylens is able to interrupt it. Seam with the solo play, looking for the dunk, and he's able to get it out into the corner as Mulik now with possession. Getting a 50 against Tylens. Goes out wide. Seam and Fire also with a 50 as Rectals completely whiffing. Rectals looking so just uncharacteristic this game. Not able to get anything to go his way.
Yeah, I think I think Rectals might be playing a little bit nervous, right? He had played well the first 2 games, and now they're starting to lose, and he's feeling like maybe he has to do everything. And so we'll see, if he's able to actually kind of release some of that control and allow Seam and Tylens to show what they can do. Good pass mid. I want to see that more from Rectals and from Avatar in general, is fighting each other and looking for some of these passing plays. Get back to the demos, right? I mean, Demon Slayer Core just demoed you 10 times, right? Somehow the net's open. I think we missed a little bit. We didn't realize how open it would be, but it doesn't matter. That ball goes in. I mean, it seems like Avatar is just, the rotations are off, right? Our third man isn't where we think he is, right? And it might be that we're rotating, to the big boosts. I think that's a big thing that happens, even until you get to SSL. People love the big boost. They want to see 100. And if they don't see 100, they can't play the game, right? And it's when you can rotate back and be on 80, you can make almost the exact same play that you could if you're on 100, right?
Yeah.
What a double from Mulig. I mean, pop down
Mulig's
angle.
good for those.
Daze pops it up, leaves it. What a glorious fake. Mulig, hand down, man down, nobody on backboard. And it's free. It's free when you do that. Demon Slayer Core really looking like the better team here in the second half of the series. We might have a second reverse sweep on our hands.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Parker, but I'm getting some crazy deja vu right now from the B tier match. Seem able to find the back of the net, get them at least 1 goal in Game 4. Can they get 2 more, though? With Demon Slayer looking the way they are, I don't think it's going to happen. Not this game, at least. Demon Slayer Core just playing as a team, just looking better as a team, as Avatar kind of trying to do things by themselves too much. Especially like we talked about Rectals kind of, going out of the norm this game. I think that's going to be the big thing that they need to bring back in is Rectals, we need you to play how you were playing the last, 2 games. 3 games.
Yeah, I really do think that there is something to be said about, trying to play for each other and not trying to take these solo plays. And, I believe Tylens, played on a team.
Take off.
Yeah, what an air dribble. But I believe Tylens played on a team with Goose. I want to say he played with Goose at some point, maybe in Season 1 or early on in Grindhouse. And I know Goose, I know how he likes to play Rocket League. And it is a very pass-first, type of offense. And so if Tylens is playing with Rectals, who is a very solo play-heavy player, there could be some friction there of like, hey, I was expecting a pass. You have no boost while we're air dribbling. So hopefully we'll see, so some better communication and a little bit of that play style being figured out together.
Yeah, 100%. I believe last season Tylens was the first rounder for Goose's A-tier team, so not quite the same team, but I know Goose is very fond of how Tylens plays the game. Argued that he could have made S-tier last season. As we see, Tylens ended up going first round again in A-tier this season. Has a lot to show for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, Rectals with a good dunk there. Firefight does well to keep it from going directly into his net. Daze puts to the corner to safety. Good patience, good read, but Rectals is there. Shot on. Mulig is there. Rectals didn't hit that one hard enough. But good pressure. Tylen's looking for a solo play here. Maybe had an open man in the midfield. But ends up taking the 50. Daze is there with no boost. Rectals will look for a 50. Gets the demo instead. I like that drive through. Seam over 2. Mulig does well to wait. Looks like Rectals got a demo on the backside. Tylens is going to fake this for Rectals. Rectals with a slow touch. Not able to follow it, though. 0 boost on Tylens. He's going to float down now. Firefight demos the last man. This is a dangerous ball. Rectals does well to get to safety. Let's see. We're at 30 seconds left, and it seems like Team Avatar can't break through the Demon Slayer chokehold. You know, I mean, I think we're figuring. Oh, wow. I mean, another good double from Firefight. Almost able to make it into the back of the net. Goes off the post. Really going to keep it in. And we're going to go to Game 5, and we have a potential reverse sweep on our hands. Now, Carr, if you're Team Avatar, what are you saying? What are you trying to teach this team and talk about to be able to beat Demon Slayer here in Game 5?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm hitting him with the Parker. Tylands, your internet went out. Let's get someone else. Nah, I'm just kidding. Tylands, great player. I think for Avatar, I want to see less of what's going on with Rectos here. I think Rectos is just so out of the ordinary now. He has the most points on his team right now, but I think this is one of those games where points really don't matter. As we see from the stats alone,
I just want to stop you real quick, Carr. I want to point out that Firefight is at a 64 points from Firefight in a victory. But guess what he does have? He has 3 demos just by himself. So, I mean, if anybody tells you that points, if they're making fun of you in solo queue because you don't have enough points, point them to this game. You can win a game and have 64 points, right? If you're doing the other things, you're playing off ball well. Huge shout out to Firefight. You talked about him subbing up. I mean, that's something. So, I mean, again, like I said, the physical game, Rectos was trying to be a little bit more physical, but it seems like, Avatar isn't really finding each other on these passing plays. Demon Slayer is doing a combo of being physical and fighting each other. And, unless Avatar switches that play style and starts trying to play for each other, then I think we're going to see our second reverse super today.
100%, and I touched on that during Game 1 and Game 2. Team Avatar did so well at playing with each other, playing the ball to each other, and Demon Slayer Court just not quite able to replicate that, right? And that's why they lost those first 2 games. But now it's looking like the opposite. It looks like Demon Slayer Corp able to keep the ball within each other, get great passes. We're seeing a lot of times where someone can make a touch and someone else says leave, and they do. The comms are great on that side of the field. It seems like Avatar not quite able to connect the way that they were, but I'm excited to see Game 5. This is make it or break it game. You don't want to get reverse swept here.
No, this is all the pressure, right? After the week 1, good shot. What a save from Days off the top of the crossbar, able to get in front of another shot. Looked like maybe from Rectals or Tylands there. But you'll see Seam's going to have the ball, take it up to the wall. Going to take a 50. Rectals does well to dodge the bump, bangs it out. Should be a free ball there for Days. Days dodges the bump from Seam. Tylands with the jump. I don't know, if we're jumping at some balls that we're definitely going to get beat to, right? We might want to be a little bit, more patient with what we're deciding to go for. Seam hits the ball back all the way across. 12 boost, can't really follow this. Good touch from Rectals. I like that soft touch. Good 50 on the follow. So far, I like Team Avatar's pressure. They've done well this 5th game. Looking for another bump. I mean, Rectals really has been playing aggressive. He's really switched up his play style, and he's looking for these bumps.
100%. And one thing I do want to take note of is Demon Slayer Corp looking so calm, so patient on defense. And it gets really difficult, at least for me personally, to be what a shot from Mulik.
Oh, and that
right
looks like
around Tylands.
Looks like a missed touch on the backboard. Might have been Rectals with 0 boost here. Kind of took an awkward rotation. Looked for the 1 touch, didn't get it. Seam wasn't far post. Mulik was playing the miss, sneaks it in. 1-0, Demon Slayer Core.
Oh yeah, super unfortunate for Avatar here. But like I was saying, Demon Slayer Core, just one thing I think they do so much better than this Avatar teams. They're calm. They're completely calm on defense, and I think for me personally, that's a super difficult thing for me to do. Defense is one of the scariest places you can be when when you're in a series like this. One game, every game counts, right? Every goal counts.
Oh, a psycho!
Back your net.
Wow.
That would happen.
What a skim. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a self-set-up psycho, but he did skim it, put it almost on net. Rectals has a free ball here, touches it, looks for the double. Can't find it, but Tylands is there. Own goal from Mulik. He should have left it. Oh, that's a shoulda, woulda, coulda. Good touch from Rectals, threatens the double. Days was waiting for it in net. Mulik hits it away from Days. Tylands is there. He might have gotten the dunk, but I think it was going in regardless. and we are tied 1-1, half the game remaining. Let's see who comes out on top.
Mulig baiting in the 2 own goals from Team Avatar, ends up own goaling himself. What an interesting story for him to write about himself here. But, you know, this is a tied game. Team Avatar is looking a lot better than they have in these last 2 games, you know. Putting up a real challenge for Demon Slayer Core, not just letting them get the opportunities they had before. They have, you know, an actual third man now. Nobody overcommitting, nobody overstepping, but the net always covered, it seems like.
Yeah, I like this patience that we're seeing from Avatar with 2 dribble plays back to back. Reichel's getting a demo on the way back, kind of playing near post. Good save from Tylens. Hit it to Daze. That's a very hard shot to make. You know, when you try to go that quick. So, good 50. Daze is there. I mean, Daze is everywhere. I really feel like he has been the player for Demon Slayer. You know, big shout out to him. He's had a great series so far. Big reason they've been even, you know, in this position to reverse sweep Avatar. Firefight looking for a double. Can't get it. Daze with the speed. Rectal's good touch. Gonna take time. Firefight's gonna steal this boost. 50 happens, goes over the net, unscoreable, but Daze looks for a pass. Rectals is there. Mulig with a clear to the corner. Should have a little bit of time. Rectals off the ceiling. 0 boost. Chow does well, though.
Oh my, Firefight?
I mean, Firefight, is he a Vample or is he Firefight? You know, who do we got over there? 1 minute left trying to break the deadlock. Should be an easy clear. Seam takes it to the corner. Bounces out pretty far. Mulig finds his teammates. Double commit. All three are up. See if Rectals gets a pinch touch. Daze is a little bit of bang ball. You can tell people are getting nervous with this last minute. No one wants to be the guy that makes the mistake with the control touch. So you're going to see some bang ball looking for each other. I think the team that settles down here first is going to be the one that wins this game. Firefight with the pass out. Talons with the 50.
Again, we've just got a great game going on here. I mean, both teams putting pressure on the field. Rectal's looking to clear this out. Firefight trying to keep it in the blue side, and he does. It's Mulig finding the demo. Seam having to get the bang. Mulig gonna be the last one back now, sending it over towards Daze. Daze kind of playing it patient, ends up getting bumped. Mulig looking for the block, but not quite able to find it. Seam looking for the
there!
Barely off of the crossbar.
Wow, and oh, a pinch! Oh my goodness!
God.
Team Avatar bring out all the stops on 0 seconds. They don't want this one to go to OT. Good shot, no follow-up. And Demon Slayer can breathe a sigh of relief. They're back to against the wall. This reset is more than welcome. Good 50 from Rectal's. Gonna look for the shot. Maybe you could look for a mid-pass. I mean, Avatar's at all the pressure, but can Demon Slayer with the double? He's looking for it. Good. I think a miss, maybe a block. The angle wasn't there. Rectal's is gonna have some time, goes to the ceiling. Flips forward. Talons is up. A demo on the third man. Means they have to be careful here. Can't overcommit.
What an unfortunate
a miss!
Oh, and
but Daze is there. Bails them out again. It feels like for the 12th time, Daze has been able to bail out Demon Slayer Core. Seam, that should have been game. Shoots it a little high off the crossbar. Gets beat by Daze. Just Rectal's back. Gonna bang this forward. Seam looking for a bump. Mulig does well to play high. Off the backboard. Tough read for Firefight. Open net. Kylan's can't finish it. Again, Avatar playing all the pressure. Rectal's quick. Demo through. Rectal's looking at 5, 6 demos already. Just every single time. Bang it high. Demo through. Tylen's good shot on. Double commit. I mean, this is what you play the game for. Game 5 OT. Can Demon Slayer finally break the pressure? No. Seam meets him. Rectal skim. Looks high. Seam is there, shot low. Daze is there to save it. Daze on the counterattack. 50's out. Rectal's trying to read this. Does well. Over 1. Mulig's left. He's going to bang this. Going to look for Daze. Daze with a dunk. Daze doesn't get the corner boost. Big corner boost grab from Seam. Could have been the end of the game there. Flicks over. Looks for it mid. Shot high. Again, no one on Demon Slayer Core has any boost or playing backboard. Finally, Mulig hears me. He goes backboard, saves that shot from Rectals. Rectals going to rotate out, steals the boost. Look at the boost shuttle for Demon Slayer. Non-existent.
What
good
an
50.
Game 5 too. I mean, Avatar just really letting Demon Slayer have it. And
ball in front of the net. Oh, goal from Mulig. own goal from Mulik. Oh, you live by the own goal and you die by the own goal. Oh
2
my
own goals
goodness.
in one game. Both of those own
Oh,
goals from the previous matches coming back to haunt him as the ball ends up in the net. No reverse sweep today. Team Avatar able
Team
to bring it back.
Avatar denying the reverse sweep. All things balanced as they should be. I mean,
I mean,
I really want to highlight my player of the series, Rectals. I mean, the amount of plays where he's hitting it high on the backboard, going through and demoing. I mean, we had talked about it. The first 2 games he played well. Second 2 games felt like he was rushed. Felt like he was, not playing that well. Came in for the 5th game, really locked it in, and got his team the dub.
yeah, I mean, I just gotta say, I feel so bad for Days not quite able to bring that game in. He did so much, but aside from the game, we do have Rectals waiting for the post-game interview. Rectals, bringing it into Game 5. I just wanted to ask, Game 3, Game 4, you looked kind of antsy. What was your attitude going into those 2 games?
Game 3, game 4, yeah, it was kind of like I feel like I wasn't putting a lot of pressure in. I was playing too patient and kind of they wanted me to go more, so then I started to go more, and then we started getting punished more, so then I started getting hesitant. That was kind of my mindset going into Game 3 and Game 4. Quite
Rectals,
honestly.
we had talked about this on the desk, is that Demon Slayer was a very physical team, right? They were going to look for demos, they're going to look for bumps, right? But what we didn't talk about was your physical presence, and you had like averaging 4 or 5 demos that whole series. I know especially in that Game 5, I saw several times you were hitting it to the backboard and looking for a demo through. Was that something conscious that y'all were trying to change and like look for, or did what was that mentality there?
No, I knew that when we played them in the pre-scheduled games that they were pretty demo heavy. Firefight was, so I kind of knew going into it that I was going to be looking for demos on the way through, whether it be on backboard, and I knew Mulek was going to try to turn it up. So my goal was to demo Mulek mostly if he was their third man, which most of the time he was, except for when Firefight took over and then Mulek started putting pressure. But it was either demo or take their boost. Try to maintain
Yeah.
pitch control.
I mean, yeah, y'all really big shout out. Like it seemed like y'all had all the pressure with boost and with demo. It seemed that plan worked. Now the last series, I don't know if you had watched it, but there was a reverse sweep. Did that play at all in y'all's mind? Were y'all at all nervous about, oh man, like we can't be reverse swept as well? Like, was that anything, or were y'all just locked in playing the game?
No, we were just locked in. What really got us was that Paris field. I hate that field, and so does Seam. And once we got to Champions Field, I already knew that was my place.
Wow. Well, I mean, what a series. I mean, y'all gave us a show. It was a lot of fun to watch. Congratulations again. I thought you played an incredible game. So big shout out to you. But yeah, good luck. Good luck going forward, and thank you again.
Oh yeah, thank you.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We have one more game remaining, and that is the S tier game where we have Powerpuff versus Ambu Black Ops. But Powerpuff is going to be, I believe, subbing in their A tier roster again. Big highlight there. We'll talk about it more right after the break. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our final match of the day. We have our creme de la creme, the S tier matchup, Ambu Black Ops, and the A tier subbing up for S tier Powerpuff Girls. Now, if y'all been living under a rock, or if you're not like, some people who just sit there and look at the match reports, then you will have noticed that Powerpuff Girls A team also subbed up for the S tier team last week, where they swept Avatar. Yes, that's right. They swept me, and they were able to go 3-0, and now they're here to show that they can do it again. Ambu Black Ops, led by Shandy, Mario, and Vesim, are going to hope to say no, they cannot. So we're going to see kind of what that's going to be like. Big thing to note outside of the Powerpuff Girls A tier being subbed up is that Mario is back in action. He played last week, but it was after like only a day or two of being back. He was on holiday for almost all of the break. Carr, my lovely co-caster, was filling in for them. So we're really here to see, who Ambu Black Ops really is. How good is this Shandy Mario team? I was talking to Shandy this past week. He thinks that they got the steal of the draft. He says no way should Mario have ever been a second round, and all of these first rounds don't know what they're talking about, right? They let him fall way too far, and so he thinks that they have the best team, in the league. So we'll see kind of how that goes. Is Mario going to be able to heat up, take over the game, or can the A tier Powerpuff Girls continue the Cinderella run and show that A tier may not be all that far from S tier?
Yeah, and I mean, last week we're looking at, we have this Avatar versus Powerpuff match. Mars dropping 500 points per game. A big reason as to why they win that match going into S tier. And on the other side, Ambu ends up losing to Sosa, Bass, and Paco. Just not able to come on top. Vesum having a low scoring average of 256 a game. Super excited to see what Vesum is going to be bringing to the table, as we know Shandy and Mario more than capable. Vesum being pulled up from A tier. In fact, the only player who was pulled up into S tier from A tier. Super excited. This is my team playing against an A tier team, so I have super high hopes. I have so much belief, but can't wait to see what goes on.
And we all know what happens to belief when we start talking about Rocket League, don't we, Carr? So here we go, seeing if the A-tier Powerpuff Girls can show that they have what it takes to send waves around the league. I really do expect Mars to step up and play, but I also expect Mario and Shandy to handle business.
100%. I mean, Mario, Shandy, two players that could have gone first round. I think a lot of GMs, whenever I made this pick, didn't know anything about Shandy, and that's why he was, left for me to go last round of the first round, and Mario just on the bend, I was able to pick him up. I think I for sure have one of the strongest teams in this S tier, and I think Mario plus Shandy is just, it's a mix expecting huge things.
Yeah, and now I will say this Powerpuff Girls team is solid, right? We talk about these tiers, but all three of these players are able to play at a high level. They're able to read the ball quickly, and so I do expect, at least from what happened in the series where we played, it didn't feel like we were playing a lower tier team. So, I expect maybe even, Powerpuff Girls to win the first game. As I say that, shot far post from TJ, shot goes in the net, and we see a 1-0. That, like I said, I don't think it's crazy to think that Powerpuff Girls at least wins game one. Because, if it's anything like how we felt, we were like, oh, well, we're the S tier team. We don't need to really prep. We're just going to beat them because we're better. And then lo and behold, we got punched in the mouth 3 times in a row. Series is over. So, shout out to these guys. They play, an incredible game of Rocket League, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take game one.
Yeah, 100%. I think Anbu, shouldn't underestimate this team. You shouldn't underestimate anybody that you play when it comes to this game, because you don't know what can happen. S tier, A tier, it's really, in my opinion, not that far away. I think we had a lot of A tier players who could have gone up into S tier and performed. And I think Mars is being one of those players. He's just looked so good this season. The big question is can he continue on, put this team on his shoulders the way that he is, or is Ambu going to be able to get the better of him?
Oh, good speed from Mars. I mean, in the first 2 minutes of gameplay, I have been very impressed with Powerpuff Girls. I really feel like they've had the pressure. They've looked for each other on these passing plays, and it seems like Ambu has been a step behind for most of these plays. So we'll see as this game continues to develop. Mario with a shot that will be open. Looks like there was a good 50 from Vesum. Able to keep it in the corner, maybe get a bump. He did get the bump on Mars. Open net for Mario.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it's been super even so far. Believe it or not, between these two teams, I mean, it's been back and forth between where the ball's at as far as on the field. It's been on the blue and the orange half. Mario here passing out to Shandy. Shandy going to be one of the players you really need to watch out for on this Powerpuff team. Shandy, his ability to just make things magically happen. I like to relate it a lot towards Mango, as we know Mango, super great ball. And what a
wow,
shot!
What a skim from Shandy. I mean, and this is part of what you just expect to see when you say S tier versus A tier. There are just some reads and some ability to get to the ball that you really just expect, these guys to do a little bit better. So, something to keep a note on moving forward is, are they just going to get beat to these balls? Shandy with a double, goes off the crossbar and out. TJ looking for the clear. Mario is waiting for it. Opts to leave it for Vesum. Vesum wins that challenge. Tinsley gets to take time. Shandy's waiting. Shouldn't be too threatening. Forces for Mario. Mario gets bumped, but it doesn't seem like anybody on Powerpuff Girls is ready for it. Shandy has a free double. That will probably be a goal, and it will. I mean, and this is something that you really do need to pay attention to when you have these mechanical players, in S tier that are able to make things happen. right? Shandy with the double could have shot it, had 2 defenders up in net, maybe could have saved it. So he opts for the pass, guarantees a goal. Now they're up 3-1.
Oh yeah, and you were talking about earlier, you wouldn't be surprised if Powerpuff Girls were to take game 1, but it seems like Onbu is just playing so solid, not underestimating at all, respecting their touches. To a point, letting the other team get touches it's a super important part of the game. They're giving the ball to you. They're letting you do whatever you want to do. And I think Onbu is just doing a great job at taking advantage of that.
Ooh, a miss from Vessam leaves the ball open. Nobody from Powerpuff Girls is there to follow it up. Shandy and Mario double commit. Mars hits it over. Vessam's there, though, able to hit it to the corner. No boost, though, on the side of Onbu Black Ops. Mario's there. Only boost in the tank. Shandy gets 100. TJ hits it forward. Kind of aims it nowhere. Tense is there with a pinch touch mid. Shandy gets 1 touch. Not a great touch. Mars the shot underneath. Mario's there. Hits it to Vessam. I like the patience on that clear. Able to hit it to his teammate even when things are getting scary. Mars.
And I want to say, I think a big thing this Powerpuff team is doing so well is their bumps. They're physical. They're so physical. As we see there, the demo bumps of Vessam, leaving the net open as Shandy's just not able to get there.
Yeah, good demo. Mars is there. Tensev is hanging back, so Shandy couldn't turn immediately. I think one of the things probably, last week, with Powerpuff Girls winning is now they're not afraid, right? They said, oh, we can do this. And being able to think that you can is just as important as being able to, right? And so, these players know that they're able to hang, and they're not going to be scared, seeing a Supersonic Legend tag or seeing, something like that. But as I say that, pass goes to Shandy. Shandy's there waiting for it, pre-flips it in. I mean, good bump from Shandy, too, able to hit TJ out to the corner, leaves the net wide open.
I mean, what a good play from Onbu. I think that's a big thing that separates S from A is just the unselfishness to be able to give the ball up like that. Mario could have taken that by himself, decides, let me give this to Shandy. Shandy there to be able to slot it on the open net. Vesting down to Mario. Mario popping it off backboard. Shandy looking for a reset double tap, but not quite able to. As Mars pops over Mario, keeping it on. It's TJ's up for this ball. Vessam able to get the block. Shandy now. Free ball off backboard, decides to bang it. Tensa low boost, gonna pop it up. Shandy able to read it. Vessam should be mid looking for the shot. Shandy fakes it. Vessam free net, and it's
good
in.
fake from Shandy. I mean, it really does just seem like the Shandy show. Say that 5 times fast, where he's able to kind of make something happen, and he's just, making the other players, like feel his wrath, right? And it's allowing them to win this game pretty handedly. So, if I'm Powerpuff Girls, I'm really gonna try to see if I can shut down these passing plays between Shandy and Mario. I like their physicality, but it seems like the reads are just a hair too slow. And that might be all she wrote for Powerpuff Girls if this continues.
100%. I mean, Mario, Shandy, like I was saying previously, 2 of those really great players in this S tier here. Mario going to the grand finals last season in S tier. Just unfortunately not able to squeak out with the win, though. And Shandy coming in as one of those, top players, almost a 2K player. I believe his peak is 1930, I want to say. Definitely one of those bigger threats in the tier.
Yeah, and we see even here, even though it felt like Powerpuff Girls were a physical team, you see that that Onbu Black Ops had more demos than they did, right? That that theory still holds true. More demos equals more wins, right? And big highlight that time on ball percentage. It just seems like Mario and Shandy are able to really just have the ball and do whatever it is they want with it, and there's nothing that Powerpuff Girls can do. I don't think the challenges are coming fast enough. They're giving up midfield pressure, and there's a whole other element to the game when you get to this S tier that just is not understood in the tiers below it. And I think now, they might have had, an easy time last week, and had that Cinderella period. But I think now, reality is going to start setting in.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's such a different field in this upper tier here. And we've lost me. Oh, and we're back. Yeah, I mean, Powerpuff Girls just got to do a little bit more, do that extra step. And
this is a good start. misread from Vesum. Now, I will say this, right? You know, we talk about the gap between S tier and A tier, and that really is only the gap between the top of S tier and the bottom and the A tier, right? And you have Shandy and Mario, who are both top of S tier, right? You have pick 8 and pick 9 in the draft, and then you're gonna have Vesum, who was, I believe, one of the last picks of S tier, right? And so he's going to be that differentiating factor, right? Can he play above the level of these other A-team players or A-tier players? Or is he going to be, you know, shown to be kind of closer to those skill level? And then can Powerpuff Girls exploit that, right? Are they able to? Right now, looks like they have too much to deal with Shandy and Mario.
100% Vesum being the very last pick actually in S tier. You know, I completely agree that it comes down to can Vesum do better than these other players. So far, it's been the Shandy and Mario show, and what a show they have put on. But Vesum, a little more out of view, and this team it'd be completely different in the way that these games go. I think Powerpuff would be looking at a lot scarier of a team.
Now here we go with ball on Ambu's side. I mean, and what you're going to see is these touches that I talk about where, like, you're able to get these aerial touches where you're able to follow, get a flip reset, get an extra touch, extra pass. It's just something that you really see in S tier and that you don't really see as much in A tier. And something important to note, right, is that when we're doing scrims and people are practicing and playing scrims, on the whole, people scrim only the other people in their tier. So even though this A tier team is subbing up, they haven't been scrimming against S tier players. They haven't gotten to practice against Mario and Shandy, or haven't gotten to practice against Sabin or Comp, or, you know, so they haven't seen this level of play enough. They just saw it, you know, in one series last week, and that's not enough to bridge the gap of experience that's in this tier.
I mean, 100%. I don't think any of the TJ playing last season in C tier. This is a big jump for him, and him, you know, even squeaking out that win last week against Team Avatar, you know, from C tier to winning an S tier, that's huge, right? That says a lot about a player, a lot about, you know, potential, a lot about how hard they're working. But on the other side, you know, we have Vesum, who's played in S tier 2 seasons ago, Mario, who played in S tier last season, Shandy, who's just used to the high level gameplay. Experience is a huge thing, and I think that you see this Ambu team play a lot more, you know, calm, safe, you know, just more controlled even than this Powerpuff Powerpuff Girls team.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, Car, and, you know, I mean, right now it's been kind of an even 2.5 minutes, so we'll see, you know, if Powerpuff Girls are able to find another goal. They've done a good job of stabilizing and reducing the offense of Shandy and Mario, but you feel like you're always just kind of waiting for that other, you know, ball to drop and see, all right, here's another goal from Shandy, who went crazy and passed it to Mario, or, you know, Mario just outsped someone going to this ball. So we'll see if Powerpuff Girls are able to hang on in the last 2 minutes of gameplay. Oh my, Vesum corner double shot of the day. I mean, what a read and shot from Vesum. We said it, right? We need to see Vesum step up, and step up he does. I mean, what an incredible shot from Vesum. Nothing that Powerpuff Girls can do. Yeah, wow. One of the best shots I've seen probably in the past 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I mean, just speaking into existence, right? Vesum, like, being pulled up into this S tier, and he's doing things like this. It's a very good reason why he was pulled up, and he's here to prove that today. We see Powerpuff trying to keep pressure going on.
If Vesum's able to hit another skimmer like that, I mean, it's no surprise as to why, you know, teams took a chance on him and put him in S tier, right? Because mechanics like that are very hard to teach, right? There's kind of a natural knack to that. So, you know, good second game here. A good passing play. That's going to roll in from Powerpuff Girls. That is the key. If you are asking yourself, okay, how do I, as a lower-ranked player, beat higher-ranked players? And it is going to be hitting the ball to each other, right? You're not going to beat Shandy or Mario on a solo play, right? But what you can do is beat them on a team play, on a passing play, make the ball awkward, make them awkward, and then all of a sudden you can get a goal. So Powerpuff Girls really has to focus on passing to each other, playing for each other, getting those bumps, and not allowing Anbu Black Ops to just out solo play them.
Oh yeah, I mean, it didn't even look like the pass was incredibly intentional, but just the fact that Tensa's going there for that bump, trying to prevent Anbu from creating any pressure, just a great play from him, and Mars rotating out, just the ball coming to him. Mario with a good pass though. Vessam kind of forcing this ball forward. I would have liked to see him take a little bit more time with it. As Shandy kind of does the same, but he's able to take the corner. Mario now for the shot. And TJ getting the save here. Vessam back to the corner. Shandy turns for it. Looking for one more. Mars playing patient. Able to keep it in the corner. Vessam not quite able to get the beat though. Mario waiting for it here. Looking for a pass mid maybe. Over one. Nobody there to pick up the phone though. Vessam up high with it here.
Lot of pressure from Anbu. Double commit here.
Oh.
TJ's looking awkward. It's going to be a goal here without a doubt. And I mean, that's again, you saw it in the other matches today, but especially in this match, if you double commit on defense or you do something like that, this S tier team is going to punish you. It is going to result in goals. And something that happened last week that was Powerpuff Girls played with no pressure, right? There was no expectations. And so they were able to play, a very loose style of Rocket League. They weren't double committing. They weren't feeling nervous. But now the pressure's on. Like, oh man, they beat one S tier team. Can they beat two? And I think that here we're seeing, the nerves come out, right? The pressure's on, and can they score, right? And this ball is staying up quite long, but it should drop here in a second. Pensa maybe had a chance there to shot. Doesn't read it. This ball will drop now. Game 2, Anbu Black Ops. And I think that this will be a 3-0 sweep. Anbu is just showing that they're the better team with better reads, and Powerpuff Girls are just left on the back foot.
Yeah, I mean, by no means, though, was it a big win. Very close game. Powerpuff Girls, by no means playing poorly, able to keep a close 1-goal lead for Anbu here. But great game for both teams. We can see here, Mario and Vessam both showing up heavy. Really happy to see that Vessam was able to get a little bit more involved this game. 3 saves. He had that 1 goal from the corner. I
do want to highlight, I have been proven wrong. Powerpuff Girls have more demos, but it seems like Anbu, with the individual skill, it was just too much to handle, right? It was too big of a gap to bridge. So good shots, good goals from Anbu. Powerpuff is a very valiant try, right? They're keeping it close. It's respectable, but right now it seems like they're just not able to take that extra step and really, capitalize.
100%. I think it was a great game from Anbu. Able to, just do a little bit more than Powerpuff was able to. I think Powerpuff taking that extra step, let's get this ball to a teammate. Let's get these saves, even these clears to a teammate. Let's keep possession of the ball, control the field. And I think that's the big difference maker that'll happen. If they're able to do that, they're looking at a much easier time playing this game.
Yeah, and here we go, game 3 underway. Let's see, I will expect a little bit of trolling from Mario. He is one of those players that takes it easy. A great corner double. TJ says, Vessam, you can do it, so can I. A little bit less of a skim. Great bump from Mars, playing ahead of the double. Bumping Shandy. Looks like Vessam also bumped Shandy. And that goal is scored by TJ. So, anything you can do, I can do better, says TJ. And we are, Anbu playing on the back foot. First time they've had to play, they played the first game from behind very briefly. So we'll see if they're able to neutralize quickly like they did in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, a great start for Powerpuff Girls. This is exact. More than 4 minutes remaining. I mean, can we get another goal and really, solidify this lead? That's going to be my big focus going on.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you have the solo goal from TJ. It looks like Shandy bumped Vessam there out of the way, but I really do not think that Powerpuff Girls should be trying to focus their bread and butter on those solo plays. I feel like that read was great. Mars had a great job playing in front of it. But again, finding each other and playing that physical style of Rocket League is how Powerpuff Girls will win this game. And it's really the only chance they have. So we'll see, Mario's going to play fast. Shandy's going to try to read these balls. Great double from Mars, able to stay with it. Vessam gets that boost, though. Looking for a play out. Good 50 from Tensa. Good pressure here. Shandy with the quick read, able to beat one. Mars hits the Tensa. Good pass out. Gonna get dunked by Vesem. A little bit too predictable there. Might need to throw in some fakes or something like that. Mars takes the ball to the corner. Mario pushes up a little bit too far. Gonna have that read though. Has a good 50. Tends to should be the first to this ball. And I mean, right now it's just, you know, like blows back and forth in midfield. Really no team developing too much of an actual attack here.
Mario
Ball
popping
up.
on high, Shandy for the shot. Mars able to get the pop out. Vesem ends up jumping at that ball, wasting all of his boost back to 0 now. This is Mario trying to get the 50 out. Into around one. Shandy out to Vesem. Vesem now on the 1v1 with TJ. TJ able to get the 50 to the wall. And Mars looking for a shot. A slow roller. Easy save for Shandy. Stuck in the corner now. Vesem. Heavy touch out. Shandy though to the wall. TJ gonna meet it. Looking for a shot. Mario to the other side is Vesem. Able to bang it out. Tinto just waiting for it. Like it's just bang ball here, Parker.
I don't think a single player has taken, you know, more than one pixel of a touch on the ball right now, you know, and I think for Powerpuff Girls there were some opportunities there to potentially look for each other and find a better opportunity than when you're trying to shoot a ball on net when there are two people there sitting for it. So we'll see if they're able to actually find each other, or if that's, you know, if this peppering the goal strategy will eventually, you know, bear fruit. I mean, right now, if you're Powerpuff Girls, you're not really trying for a goal. But, you know, if you start playing super defensive, you're not going to hold on for 2 minutes against this team of Shandy and Mario.
Yeah, now we see Shandy and Mario taking their shots at the net. Vesem not quite able to get there fast enough. I mean, they're doing a great job this game at shutting both of those players down, not letting them have any time to do what they really want to do. You see Vesem with kind of a wide touch here, maybe not wanting to do that. Shandy maybe trying to pass this over to Mario. Ends up in TJ's hands though. TJ with an uncharacteristic whiff. Same with Mars. Now we have Tinza back all alone.
Good demo from TJ there. You know, that would have been a very tough spot for Tinza to be in with a 1v1 with Mario. But a good demo there, able to prevent a good shot from coming across. Double commit there, but they pinch it out. So you know what? All's fair that it, you know, it ends well. But Shandy flip reset, leave it for Vesem. Vesem going to look forward here, looking for a dunk. That's going in the net. Mars is there. And I mean, again, good pressure from Anbu, but they have a minute left, so they're probably feeling it. They don't want to lose the game here. They don't want to give Powerpuff Girls any momentum, because they saw what happened last week. If Powerpuff Girls gets some momentum, it could be in for a rough time.
Yeah, Shandy now up. Not quite able to make anything happen as Tensa's able to get the clear to the corner. Mario off the ceiling, sending it back towards TJ as he gets the bang off the wall, looking for the sidewall read. Gets one. Vesem taking his time here. Shandy comes down and pinches it. Shandy now on this ball. As Mars kind of lurking around, trying to make it as awkward as he can. And he succeeds. Shandy not able to follow this ball. Mario loses this 50. Shandy now sitting on. Mario trying to cut it. Shandy able to get the beat on
there. I mean,
we're tied up 1-1.
And I don't know if that was TJ there. There's no boost on Shandy. You're diving way away from the goal. Probably need to fake. Give yourself some time. You know, there's not going to be a great shot on net. Instead, you allow them to outplay you. And now we're at 1-1 with 30 seconds left. And again, I'm worried if I'm Powerpuff Girls, because now Anbu, the pressure's back off, and they're going to be feeling themselves moving faster around the pitch.
100%. I mean, having a 1-goal lead against this team and holding on to it is super important. Vesem not able to get a touch. This could be really bad for Anbu. Here's TJ gets a 50. Shandy demos Mars, but Mars gets the touch first. Mario now looking to get this off the orange half. Not quite able to. Vesem going to go ahead and kill this ball, and we have overtime. Game 3. Anbu trying to take the series. Powerpuff trying to stay in it. Let's see which team does it better.
Kickoff goes the way of Powerpuff Girls. Mars with a good touch looking mid, looking for a double. Close on the demo, going ahead of them. Still, Powerpuff Girls is going to have some possession. Vesem should have this touch. Going to look for a follow-up. Flip reset over one. Shandy is going to wait, let Mars touch it. He's going to look to cross this to Mario. Mario is waiting on the other side. Ends up committing 450. Vesem takes this out to TJ. TJ looking for a sideball skim. Cannot touch it. Touches it to Mars instead. You have Mario going to have this ball. Misread from Mario. Going to leave the ball, look for a bump. Going all the way to Narnia for that boost. Mars with a good touch around Vesem. Shandy's going to take Vesem's ball, says, that's mine. Going to look for a flip here. No, it opts to go for a ground dribble. Has the wall, gets bumped off. We'll leave this. A little bit of miscommunication. Vesem should be the first to this ball. Good 50 from Mars. up to Mario. Mario with the misread, but they were respecting it, so it doesn't really impact the play too much. Vesson with the misread drops down. Shandy clear to himself, gonna look for the mid pass, can't find it. Open net, that will be the game. And it is. Powerpuff Girls win game 3. We are at least gonna see a game 4. And it was a whiff from Shandy. Mario didn't play it. And the 2 S-tier players making a big mistake there to go to game 4.
I mean, Mario just, losing touch with reality, pushing up so far, expecting this ball to do anything but go into the back of his net. As third man, you cannot make the mistake of getting too far upfield or you will be punished. And Powerpuff Girls did just that.
Yeah, and I will say, right, we talk about those demos and how important that is. Well, the Powerpuff Girls said, hey, we saw that we got the demos once. We're going to continue on that legacy. They got 6 demos there. They had a great play from TJ on the corner read with Mars bumping ahead. And look at that. They end up winning that game. So, I mean, I am worried if I'm Anbu, right? Because they have showcased that they're willing to play physical. They have the mechanics, right? If we mess up, if we whiff, we will get punished. So I expect Anbu to really slow it down, play a much more steady, consistent game. Mario loves to try to sit on the backboard and look for these redirects down. He was trying it last game. I think maybe this game he's going to stop trying to do that, and he's going to try to play an actual serious, consistent game. Because if he does it, we're going to end up on Champions Field, and then who knows what will happen in 5 minutes of Rocket League.
Absolutely. I think that game, the biggest difference maker is just Mario trying to do a little bit too much. We saw 2 or 3 whiffs coming out of him, which, Mario he doesn't do that. Mario's a very consistent player. He plays threes, the way that he likes to play. And what a pass from TJ over to Tenza. Mario up to Vessum. Tenza not able to reach it as Mario's going to stay on this ball, looking for the mid pass when TJ's going to be there to clear it out. Vessum sending this to the wall, not looking for the second touch, and leaving from Mars. Mars now solo under Shandy. Mario, though, able to get one out as TJ's trying to keep the pressure going here.
Yeah, you can tell the Powerpuff Girls are feeling themselves already. These plays, they're already showing the mechanics, and, it feels like they're settled in. So, good 50 over here. Good Tenzo will be the first one there. Again, look at the physical play from Mars. I mean, just, taking Mario and saying, enjoy this vacation, right? Like, you've been gone so long, just stay off the field. So, I like what I'm seeing from Powerpuff Girls. If I'm Anbu, you really need to start, focusing on dodging the demos, paying attention to when they're coming, and then playing that consistent level of Rocket League where we're hitting it and we're playing to each other.
100%. I think Anbu, playing as a team is the most important thing right here. Is Vessum out to Shandy. Mars able to meet him, and I think that's something they've done so well is just meeting them in the air. And, not letting Anbu have any space, have any time to do whatever they want, whenever they want. That this team has mechanics. That this team is threatening each and every single one of them on this ball. And they're doing such a great job at not allowing them to just do what they want. I think it's really what's kept them into the series.
Yeah, I mean, there is something, we talked about for the first 2 games, right, where it was, the Shandy and Mario show. But really, Powerpuff Girls have done a great job of neutralizing that threat. And they've said, hey, well, we'll just pre-jump the passes, we'll pre-jump the mid plays, and then y'all won't be able to, go for the backboard double passes and all this other mechanics that y'all can showcase because we're going to be waiting for the pass. So it's been, they're playing very well. Big shout out to these guys. So let's see if they're able to keep it up, continue on that pressure, and not allowing Anbu to have, the ability to, score any goals or make any of those plays.
Yeah, 100%. I think Anbu, just taking a little bit more time as the net ends up open. We're seeing whiffs from 2 players of Powerpuff Girls here, I believe. Leaving this net wide open. TJ not able to get a touch. And Tenza ends up opting for the corner boost instead of playing that whiff respectively.
It is hard. There is something to be said, right? Because Tenza had 0 boost, right? And you see the 50 going to your teammate, and there is part where you kind of have to play for your teammate's touch. And I don't know if comms, if TJ was like, hey, I got it, or hey, I'm missing, right? Because that changes, the way that you're playing. But, I'm not going to, the blame is not on Tenza for that one. I think TJ really should have had that read. But, we'll see if they're able to neutralize here with the second half of game before.
100% Powerpuff almost with the goal there as Mario's able to get the save wall backwards. Now looking to get the clear out. We have 2 players upfield, low boost. This is very dangerous for Powerpuff Girls as they're low on boost here. Now able to get some to be able to, form a counter attack. Ambu keeping the pressure here though. Mars over to Shandy will be the last back, and he hits it around 2 of them. Looking for the pass across maybe to Vesum as TJ is going to go ahead and cut that off. Mars taking this ball from TJ. Mario off of the backboard. Mars across. Shandy waiting for it. Not going to be able to get the touch he wanted as Mars is landing on it. Vesum trying to keep this ball on the blue side, and he does. Shandy playing patient. Over 1, under 2. Has the flip. No flip. I lied.
Looked like he did. May have opted not to use it. Still a very threatening position for Ambu. Powerpuff Girls on not much boost. Looking for a 50 out. TJ does very well with 0 boost. Gets his boost steal. A shot low. Where was Vesum in net? What happened? I don't think this should have been a goal. Vesum missed the boost, crept into the corner looking for it. Didn't get it. Got it stolen. And then Mars with a great shot bottom left. I mean, yeah, just difficult. Little mystery from Vesum. Missed the boost. Powerpuff there to capitalize. So, here we go with a minute left. Tensa shot off the corner. I mean, I don't know what happened here.
It looks like just missed touch from Mario.
Bad touch from Mario.
Vesum just too far forward. I mean, we're seeing it in live action. It goes back to the fundamentals. Where is my man that's playing far post, right? Far post is an extremely important part of threes. Everybody learns it in the early stages, and it's still an issue even up here in S tier. As we see Powerpuff Girls scoring their second goal. Vesum looking for the shot. Mario pops it up. Shandy not quite able to get there in time. Mars able to get a flip here, stays with it, not quite able to get the 50. Those Vesum down to Mario. Mario with the whiff.
Little miss flip from Mario.
Here, and it seems
very
Anbu just falling apart here.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic games from what a save. Very uncharacteristic games, but this is going to be a goal. Very uncharacteristic games from Mario. It seems like he, is whipping a little bit. I don't know if he's not taking this serious or if this is a sign of the rust where he hasn't been able to play as much. But here, just, a bad touch there. Goes over to the middle of the field. They try to make a save, and it ends up just spilling out mid for Ambu. So, tie game, 40 seconds left. We'll see if this one ends here. Vesum, good kickoff, has possession. Not much of an angle change. Nothing going to happen there. Mars is going to leave it for Mario. Shandy, good touch around. Mario's not ready for it. Shandy going to stay on. Has the double here. No one's home. Yep, that count it. Shandy showing why he was first round pick. You should remember the name Shandy. Good flip into the double tap. I mean, very, very well played from Shandy. Good car control, and just highlighting, hey, this is what SSL looks like.
Oh yeah, and against players like Shandy, this is why backboard defense is so important. We see Shandy making a second attempt coming off of the side. Well, Vesum gonna go ahead and cut Mario. Mario not quite ready for it, but Shandy able to get back to it. Almost a very unfortunate goal. Shandy now bumping Tensa. This goes onto the backboard. Mario not getting a touch. Vesum now left alone. Ball
Look
comes
for a
across
50.
mid.
Mars
Shandy
didn't play it.
Out.
Oh, Mars, you have to be
the
playing that. But that is the series. 3-1 in a respectable game from Powerpuff Girls. I mean, they're here, right? I mean, they may be A tier, but they're able to, play these games and hang out with these big dogs of S tier. Showing up to Shandy and Mario and saying, hey, you might have beat us, but it was hard. You had to work for it. It wasn't a sweep. So props to those guys. But, shout out to Shandy, really, really showcasing why, the gap between first round of S is so big.
100%. I mean, and I hate to be the one to say it, but I think these games were a lot closer than we wanted. I think Mario is just a little bit off their game. So, Anbu is still coming out on top. I think, could have been a better showing. But at the end of the day, this is S tier, this is A tier. And I think Anbu proved why S tier is S tier and A tier is separate from. But now we do have Shandy here for the post-game interview. Shandy, I just wanted to know, Mario looked a little bit shaky throughout the series. Were you ever at all concerned about his performance?
No, I wasn't. I mean, like, Mario will go crazy every once in a while, but that's expected, and we work with it. He wanted to type in chat, so one of the things we did to diffuse that situation was I told him to type in team chat in the first game and just pretend like it was the match chat. So.
Yeah, that sounds like the Mario that we've come to know, and some might love, some might not, right? But we had talked, Shandy, earlier this week, and you said that you were feeling very confident, in playing this Powerpuff Girls, right? The big thing is that they are an A-tier team. How did they feel to you? Did it really feel like y'all were just a complete step above them the entire time? Were they able to actually score some real goals on you?
Well, like not to glaze them or not to hate on them. Like we were expecting the S tier team to show, but of course the A team had the sub up. We didn't really change much. I mean, we still planned on warming up a couple minutes beforehand, getting a couple ranked games in. So we just treated it like any other game, and props to them. They played really well as a team, and there was not to say I got angry at the demos, but they did a good job getting under our skin there in that context.
I mean,
so.
Yeah, I think they were averaging, 4, 5, or 6 demos a game. So I mean, that was impressive. But very good performance. I mean, hype up yourself. I mean, you really showcasing the mechanics, showcasing the ability to have that aerial car control, the doubles, all that sort of stuff. I mean, were you kind of feeling yourself, or do you think there was more in the tank there for future games?
Well, thank you. No, I was just kind of playing. I was trying to play mostly for the team, make sure, everybody's back there. Mario's kind of our first man, so I'll let him take it if he wants to. But yeah, if it was kind of towards the end of the last game when there's like 30 seconds left, I was like, all right, I'm taking this kickoff and I'm just going to go up the wall and score. So
yeah, well, I mean, score you did. It was a great goal. So, great games from y'all. Good week win. So thank you for doing this, and good luck next week.
Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that does it for this week's games. Great games all the way around. We ended it with a solid performance. Powerpuff Girls. We had a reverse sweep and then a reverse sweep fail. So good couple of games. Car, do you want to kind of go through the schedule for next week, and then we can end it there?
Yeah, of course. Great series today. We had a reverse sweep. We had a game 5, and a great showing from from A tier here and S tier. I think today's match is on stream. Not on stream in a good while, but moving on into. Are we back? Moving on into next week, we're going to be looking at C tier Onbu versus IJLSA, B tier Avatar versus Avengers. A tier, we have the Demon Slayer Corp taking on Powerpuff Girls, and the Umbrella Academy versus the Black Bulls going on into the S tier. So stay tuned next week, same times, same day, and we're going to be looking at a bunch more great games to watch.
Yep. Thank you, Car. It's been a pleasure casting with you. And stay warm, everybody that's affected by the winter storm. Hope everyone has power and is able to, have the heat going and get a blanket and play some Rocket League or watch some Netflix.